That's him.
Now, if any of you sons of bitches got anything else to say, now's the fucking time!
Hey, everybody, Jim and Sam are here. It's time to celebrate the moment. I feel it in my soul. It's written in my bones so deeply. I wanna lose control. So turn it up a little more and laugh along with me. The show is about to begin. Series 103. Yeah, so get ready. Yeah, I'm so ready. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, everybody, Jim and Sam are here. Sing it like, hey, are you ready? Jim and Sam are here. Feel it like, hey, everybody, Jim and Sam are here. So if you feel it like I do, you gotta sing it with me too. Like, hey, everybody, Jim and Sam are here. Yuck.
Howdy. Good morning, folks.
Yeah, good morning.
It's nice to come in and see. You know, it's funny. I was thinking yesterday, which we knew the Post would do it, but would anybody else do it? Is this whole phase or fad of doing exactly what these mass shooters want by putting them on the front page? Is that, or are a lot of papers not doing that anymore, and the Post is kind of hanging on?
I think so, but I think it has. I mean, it's almost comical that the Post is doing it at this point. It's literally exactly what we talk about. If you pick up the New York Post this morning, you can go to the website and you can see the cover for yourself. It's just a giant photo of the shooter who opened fire at the California Garlic Festival on Sunday night. And it's a picture of him, and he's taking a selfie in like a bathroom or something, except he's got a scowl on his face, a mean face. And it says, chilling motive of a California mass killer. And in giant letters it says, because I'm really angry. And it looks like a 70s exploitation movie. It looks almost like a Death Wish poster.
And on two of the pages, like whatever the page, it says Garlic Fest Horror. The top of each page says that. It has his picture of a gun. It puts his motive, a picture of the kid he shot. Two more pages of the top Garlic Fest Horror, and a couple of pictures of this. So it's basically a 4-page spread.
Right.
You knew the Post would do it, though. Like, they're well aware of what it is, but they don't give a. I wish they would just come out and say, we know what we're doing, but we don't care.
Yeah, we'd like to encourage people to keep doing stuff like this. The first picture that you see after you go through the cover, where you've got the scowling, angry photo of the mass murdering maniac. You open the paper, and the first picture is another photo of him, and then a photo of his firearm.
And this is why, as comedians, you really can't care if anybody is ever upset by a joke you do. Like this is why. Because if people are coming after comedians and they're sniveling and fucking belly aching about the content of stand-up and how it's contributing to a culture of whatever you want to call it, contributing to negativity, contributing to certain ideas, and they're not focusing on this. Like, instead of obsessing about jokes and what people are saying on stage, this is what people should be annoyed about.
There's real statistics that show, there's been so many mass shootings, by the way. It was like one thing when Columbine happened, right around then, when
that
it was
like
kind
the
of
first big one.
First big one. But since then, it's been however many years. It's been over 20 years since that happened. We've established that this encourages other people to do it.
I'd love to interview the editor and just ask him, because as a paper, I enjoy the Post. I enjoy most of it. And I'd like to ask him, like, you know what this is, and you guys have a responsibility to sell papers. You have a responsibility to fucking tell a story. You gotta give people the story, but, like, you know what you're doing.
I mean, I guess we are going to the newspaper whose headline yesterday was, "My bra saved my life." They're just inching closer and closer to just Weekly World News.
Yeah, they really are. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be good, though, if people didn't buy it.
You would
That'd
hope
be
that
great.
you would hope that they wouldn't like. You would hope that they would see that and go fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
But it won't happen because I think people aren't thinking they're just grabbing the paper. You know, I don't think people are trying to contribute to anything. They're just grabbing the paper.
You have your routine. You
Yeah.
have your paper that you grab every morning.
We have our guys go out and get it. We come in. It's right here for us.
Exactly. I think that the reason you see it less is that you see generally less coverage of mass shootings nowadays just because there's so many. Because they're not able to sell as well. They're not able to, they don't scare people as much anymore.
Because none of them mean, individually, they don't mean as much.
Right, because they happen so much.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the gimmick now. Everybody knows the routine. You go on. First thing you do is talk about the motives of the crazy maniac supervillain that killed everybody. Then you get into an argument about guns. Then you get into an argument about the Democrats trying to take my guns. And then you get into the argument about the Republicans are trying to make sure everybody has a gun. And then you go through that cycle for a while until the next mass shooting starts.
The
And
picture of
people
the gun is
are
really
tired
egregious.
of it.
That's really egregious.
It's crazy.
It's like we know what guns look like.
Yeah, you don't need to. There's no news value to that.
And if you print the guy's name and you say this is what he did, but why do we need a photo of his selfie or like pieces of his Facebook page or whatever? By the way, what do you realize about mass shooters? Like none of them are good writers.
They're horrible.
Whenever they print their writings, they're always boring guys.
Not their writings, Jim. Their
Their
manifesto.
manifestos. And by the way, the Unabomber, the reason they did that the first time they really printed one was because they needed help catching him.
Yeah.
That was, people forget that. Like when they did the Unabomber's manifesto, it wasn't because they were trying to glorify this piece of shit. It was because we have these writings. He wants us to print them. Can we use this to catch him? And they did. His brother read it and recognized the writing.
Right. It wasn't after the fact, after they caught him. Okay, now let's spend another day talking about who this person was. They're doing more. There are more places now than there used to be that show the pictures of the victims and talk about the victims more, which is good. But it's so weird that in 2019, towards the end of 2019, there are still places that do this exact same thing over and over.
And they
and
know,
over
and
again.
it's like it's been talked about way too. I think I even asked John Douglas about it when he was here, and like everybody knows.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the FBI guy.
Yeah, the FBI
Yeah.
profiler. And it's like, you know, but people say, well, you make fun of it. Yeah, but it's not the same. That's not why people do it. They don't do it. They don't go out and commit murders because they want the infamy of comedians joking about them.
No.
They want this coverage in the press. It's been proven that they want it. It means something to them. They feel like it makes them this anti-hero. And they do it anyway.
I mean, you read these writings that these losers have, and every time it's somebody's not listening to them, and somebody doesn't understand how important they are, how smart they are, whatever it is. And they really do. They all want to be heard. So does the construction.
Yeah.
Construction just
They want
trying
to be
peek
heard. They
through.
should get a job downstairs. Fucking drilling.
And then you give them exactly what they want. They go, well, if I do this, they're going to put my face on the cover. And then they do.
And by the way, you can still tell the story about the victims or what happened without glorifying the guy. There's absolutely a way to do the job of the news and report the story.
You can explain the motive. You can explain what brought a person to committing an act like this.
But get a real motive. No, I'm sick and tired of hearing the motives because he's angry. A lot of us get angry. We don't go out and shoot people.
Yeah.
The motive isn't that he was angry. It's the fact that he's a broken person.
Right.
And he's a nothing of a person.
Right.
And that's really what it is. They should paint these people like that because that's what they are. They're nothings.
Right. Instead of acting like, oh, this was just a person like me or you, just even more angry than you are. And that's not true. There's no level of angry that anybody could make us that we would do something like this.
Yeah, and so anyway, the post, I knew that they would do it. I almost sent out a tweet beforehand, but I'm like, who gives a shit? I've said it already. It's boring.
Right, everybody knows.
And I just couldn't help it when I came in. It's like, of course.
Everybody
The front
knows.
page. Because I'm really angry. Really, are ya? Douchebag.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see this happening too much on other
No, they
news
say
spots.
Anderson Cooper won't say the name more than once or twice. Like,
Yep, Anderson Cooper specifically doesn't for any of these anymore.
he'll do it maybe in the context of giving the news story, because again, whatever, they have a job to do. But it's just, we all know the difference between this is the difference between showing a picture of somebody naked and showing a picture of somebody naked with their cunt flaps wide open.
Right. Is it Playboy or is it Penthouse?
Or Hustler.
Oh, yeah, or Hustler.
Playboy or Hustler. I actually prefer Hustler, so that's a terrible example because I prefer the New York Post version.
Right. New York Post goes ahead and shows the pink.
Yeah, and it does naming the shooter lead to more mass violence? It says research shows media reporting on mass shootings might incentivize further mass shootings, but it's unclear whether removing the shooter's name from the coverage will change that. I guarantee you, that's some other story, by the way. I guarantee you there's a couple of studies or stories that have been done that say, well, the research isn't conclusive. And that's probably the one they hang on to when people question, well, we have this study here that says they're not sure.
You know, that's a false narrative that you hear a lot.
And it's also, and also it says CNN, no notoriety campaign to not name mass shooters.
Sees progress.
Oh, that's
it's from 2015. Hasn't seen that much progress.
But I've noticed it hasn't been done as much. And
no, but I also think that part of that, I mean, there are a few like Anderson Cooper that are making an actual effort because of what this does. But I think part of it is that these things don't sell as well as they used to on the news. They
don't, and it's also, but even naming them in the context of telling the story ones, but you don't make them the headline. You can say the guy's name in the middle of it, but you don't give the person the notoriety. But I wish that they would do that story. Like, I wish that all these people that the stories they do about, like, whether it's the video games or guns or mental illness, which is all a part of it, why don't they do the story about what is the press doing? Like, that's the story. I would love to hear that as another third of it.
Yeah, that if you start mentally ill, and then you get influenced by video games and Marilyn Manson and movies or whatever it is, why not also lump in, oh yeah, and all the stuff that we do as journalists, that is part of this lump in.
They never do that story.
No.
They just don't do it.
No, it's bad for business.
Yeah. The Post won't do that story. None of them will do it.
Right. Yeah, it's not like you're saying, stop reporting on the other influences. It's include all the influences.
Yeah.
Include your part too. You have part of it.
That's the story they never do.
Isn't it funny when you see something like that and you see the media kind of all, it's not like they all come together and agree on something, but they all, as much as they disagree and come from different perspectives, they all have those similar survival instincts where they won't throw themselves under the bus.
They just won't do it.
They won't do it.
They'll mention things as an aside. But the story that the press never actually sits down and does is how much do we contribute? Not how much have we, how much do we continue to contribute to this?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think they ever really will.
No.
I mean, look, it's a good thing that this is starting to dissipate this type of coverage of it.
We should do something where, at least for our show, whenever they show one of these guys on the cover, we tell our guy, don't get the paper.
Yeah, and just so it's 2 less copies.
Yeah, it's not going to mean anything. I'm not trying to start a movement. I don't care what other people do. But every time that there's one of these guys, just don't get it.
At least you're not contributing.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm here talking about it, but our show still buys the paper. So fucking, if one of those guys are on the cover, just don't do it.
Although I think we have...
Unless I'm in the paper as well.
Yeah. I think we have a subscription.
Yeah, we get it either way.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah.
Although we could call and say I'd like a refund on one issue.
Do not deliver today's newspaper.
Yeah, I'd like a refund on one issue. The one where you put the killer on the cover, please.
Oh, yeah, no, if we had... Well, no, it's not us. We wouldn't do it. It's that dead bum Jim McClure.
Jim
His name
McClure.
is on the subscription.
That's right.
Jim McClure's contributing.
Jim McClure ordered extra copies for himself.
He did.
Yes, he
Puts
did.
them all over his wall and masturbates.
Puts nice museum glass over so he can just Windex everything off of it.
And he puts his own picture in there and he pretends that it's him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they'll take me seriously after this. I'm angry, too. That's what happens. Like, all these, like, incel morons that they go, yeah, see, they'll listen to us eventually. I'm angry, too.
Ugh, I know.
Like, nobody looks at at this point, nobody looks at the cover of this paper and goes, whoa, this kid's scary. They
Yeah.
look at it and they go, "What a fucking asshole!
piece of
What a
shit."
piece of garbage!"
Incels are the fucking worst when they take it out on everybody else.
Yeah, get your
Blame
your
yourself,
shit together.
asshole.
Isn't it wild when you meet people like that? And like I'm sure this idiot that just can't fathom personal responsibility.
You know, I've had a lot of time where I couldn't get laid, like decades, where it was rough. But it wasn't because women were worse, because I felt like I was a worthless piece of shit. Not because women and the whole world was against me.
I've given you just a handful of stories.
Blowjobs.
What?
Oh, sorry.
What's what I was going to say? I've given you just a handful of stories of me in middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Do you think that my issue of the fact that I was syllabus during that period of time, do you think that my issue was the awful women? Or do you think that maybe there was something in me that was a douche gene that was laid deep in me that forbid any women from being interested?
Absolutely. It was little Sammy Peter Pumper muffins.
Yeah. When you tell a girl's friend that you're screwed because she likes you, it's not women's fault. It's your fault. You got to improve yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there was just no reason when the girl said she likes you and you said,
I like dicks. That's not what that drop is from. I don't even remember why I said that, and I wish I never had.
you wanted lunch.
But you just don't hear it. You don't hear people going, you know what? This one's on me. Maybe I should spend some time improving myself. Self-improvement. Nah. I just find other people who don't need to fix themselves and it's everybody else's fault, and we'll start a group. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, well, I just came in, I saw I had to
No,
start that
of
way.
course.
This is cute.
We talk about it every time.
And it's the same people that do it every time.
Every time. Are you going to watch the homie Marianne Williamson on the debate tonight?
I will probably watch some of it. I wound up wrapping up the part 2 of the fucking 90 Day Fiance.
Dude, I did too.
I watched it last night.
I did too.
That was my big. I didn't even watch the whole season, but you don't have to. You can kind of jump in.
Yeah, you know what the stories are.
Dude, the obsession with people's shitty marriages, like the whole fucking network, TLC is just people's failing marriages.
It's great.
What's her, the family Chantel?
So 90 Day Fiance. It's the we talk.
Would you watch that?
Dude, I started tweeting about it. It's so. Did you see part 1 of the reunion?
Oh,
with Chantel.
Wait. Oh,
You're looking for some construction.
Yeah.
There it is. I hear it. That slight buzzing. That's not Jim humming.
No, not at all.
No, that's construction going on beneath us. Yeah. So of course, 90 Day Fiance is the show that we talk about all the time. By the way, Jim and myself obsessed with this show from season 1 far longer than the world's been obsessed with it. I remember when I saw a commercial for this show, it was on like when you get to the movies early and they go like, oh, coming to TLC this fall, is before the show had even debuted. I watched the first episode of 90 Day Fiance on television, and I've been obsessed with the show ever since. It's the show where they, the person meets their other potential spouse overseas,
Right.
and they bring him to the States on a K-1 visa, and just about all the marriages end in some form of disaster.
Well, that's the ones they're showing you.
Yes.
I'm sure that there's some that they don't show. And after a while, it's like, we get it. The marriages suck. There's no mystery to it anymore. That's why I like it, but not as much as I used to, because it was fun when some of them wouldn't work and some of them would.
Mm-hmm.
Now, almost all of them are a disaster. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. This is just one disaster. And some of it feels staged at this point. Some of it doesn't. But some of it feels like, oh, okay.
we know, like they know what sells.
They know what sells. They're going to selectively edit. When I found out that shitty couple, Chantel and her husband, whatever, got the show, even though it's probably fun to watch them fucking hate each other, it's like,
So
it all feels fake.
they found the couple that they had that probably fought the most,
And the families hated each other.
and
There
the
was a
families
physical
hated each other. There were
confrontation.
physical fights. It was Chantel and her husband. And her husband, I think, is from Dominican Republic, right?
Yeah, not the most reasonable.
Right. And they ended up like the husband ended up getting into a fight with her little brother, and the parents don't talk to each other, and the husband's sister called the wife a bitch and a whore, and all this stuff has gone on. They just constantly fight. The Chantel and her husband are fighting over the families, and they just fight all the time. And they announced at the reunion that they're doing a spin-off show where it's just going to be Chantel and her husband, and they're just following them around, hoping that the fights continue.
It makes me really fucking hate the producers.
Why?
And, you know, because you can just see that when a couple is falling apart, it's like, okay, get this. And I know, I'm a viewer, so I know why they're doing it. I'm part of the problem. But when you think about it and how, like, these families hate each other, and the marriages are failing, how the glee it gives the producers. And I know it's a business and these people are volunteering. I'm not saying anybody's committing a criminal act. It just, on some level, it makes me fucking hate the people at the network.
But I think that this has a lot more to do. It's one thing if they start a certain way and it falls apart and you document the falling apart and make it look even worse. It's another thing when things fall apart and then TLC goes, do you want us to keep the cameras around and we'll give you your own series? And they go, that sounds like a great idea. Like, at this point, it's on the people.
No, I think it's, in a way, it's always on the people. I mean, they make the decision. Even though they're not used to being on TV.
They're used to being on TV.
Now they are, yeah. But I'm saying when they first start, they take responsibility. They sign up for it. But and look, we want interesting TV, but it makes me hate the network because they never show the couples that are doing well, because that's not interesting. So, and I know with reality TV, they set up situations like the way they revealed that Colt, that Larissa had this little boyfriend with her.
As a surprise.
The way they revealed it, the way they surprised it. It's like they don't care that this guy's pain is real. Like, and he's really, I get it. I watched it. You know what I mean? But it's the teases, you know, ooh, the boyfriend. It just kind of, I don't know. It makes me hate myself a little bit for watching it too. Like,
yeah, you're too sensitive about it. I mean, all these.
It's not being sensitive. It's hating them because I know that these type of little fucking weasels behind the scenes are going, all right, great. Oh, we're going to reveal the boyfriend and and to them it's just, you ever see a network when he fucking says to Diana, it's all, you know, it's all seconds and it's all broken down into seconds, like bottles of beer, and that's what it is. It's like we don't give a fuck about the people at all.
But they're not taking advantage of the people. Like,
I'm not even saying they are. It just makes me hate them.
You don't think Colty? You didn't feel bad for Colty?
I felt bad for him yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty evil.
Yeah,
He's
but
just
they're
a dude. He's
they're
just a
all
guy.
trying to. Everybody on the show is just trying to get themselves over too.
Sure.
Like, they all, if you do any research into all of them, they all have little, like, side businesses, and they're all trying to capitalize off everything. Nobody leaves feeling victimized.
I think some of them
unless
do.
they disappear from the show. You can hear that.
Sorry, yeah. I think something on my mic is not for me.
This is exactly why you wanted to be able to switch out the windscreen, right?
You bet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're all making that assessment. Like, this isn't one of those where people don't know what they're getting into and they're being taken advantage of. This is one where people know exactly what they're getting into.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing.
100%.
And they want it. They don't mind going through this roller coaster if it means they're getting paid.
Yeah, and again, it's not like I think they're being victimized. It's just when I look at it and I know what it is, it's like, but again, I watched it, I enjoyed it, but it just, on some level, it makes me hate the people behind the scenes. They're scrambling around with their headsets. All right, cool, she's walking out. Get her walking out. Like, you just know the mentality of them, just want to get good TV, and they don't give a fuck about anything that's actually happening. And if something nice happens, they don't want to show that because that's not good TV. So, and again, fuck us, the viewers, me included, because we don't like the nice any more than. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I watch the shitty too before I watch the good.
It's kind of what we did on the radio for a long time too.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, it's not. I'm not saying that these poor people, the networks are terrible. It just, when I watch the whole overall thing, because they're not showing couples really doing well much anymore. They
got Russ and Pow.
They do, yeah, but I think they brought them back because they have a baby and they're one of a couple that had a baby.
I'll tell you why they brought Russ and Pow back. Russ and Pow are the couple that we've been following since season 1.
The originals.
They brought Russ and Pow back because Pow speaks up on is so ready to just explain what everybody is doing wrong That they love that.
Yeah.
Like, because it's so annoying to have somebody else who's just in the same boat as you going like, no, this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing this. How many people on that couch on that show were like, shut up, pal?
Yeah, and why do we, and again, I'm guilty of it too, so I would say why do we like the mess more? Like, why is it more fun to watch the disaster?
Conflict is interesting.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, who cares about, like, if you're just doing well, you're just doing well. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess, but there are shows where people just are in love and do well, but they last like a season.
Yeah,
You know what I
suppose
mean?
but then the fighting feels fake on the, like, if they know they're all being filmed and they're doing a show. I hate when they have these meaningful conversations in front of the I just don't feel like I can trust you. Yes, but you weren't there yesterday. How come you're not bringing me what I need? Because I had to go to work. It's like, yeah, stilted, idiotic moment.
Plus, you know, you amp it up to 2 hours.
I know.
You got a lot of TV to fill. But this is what I mean. Like, you watch that one episode that we watched a while back where it was 90 days before the 90 days. And it was that guy who went to Colombia and got stood up by the girl.
I know.
And he was waiting there for like hours. And the girl was obviously just like, you know, putting him through the ringer. And you could feel bad for him. But at the same time, he was doing the same thing to another girl
Yeah.
who was there that he was just trying, okay, I'll get her on the show and I'll marry her instead of this one.
And then he wound up leaving her and going back to his ex.
Right. So it's like,
That was interesting because that had an ending that was like, yeah, he went back to the, like, to me, that at least felt like it worked out in a real way. Like, it wasn't just conflict. Like, he met the one girl and it got along. And yeah, there's going to be problems. They're going to have to highlight them with the music, you know. But he said to me, he brought the roses. Yeah, I know I'm part of the problem, so I should just shut up. I don't know why. I felt bad for that fucking Colt yesterday.
why?
I just did.
He knows what he's doing.
I know he does. I still felt bad for him.
Plus, like every story you read
His
about,
mother. Colty, you're supposed to. She's not very nice to me.
So the show started with the blonde and her Jamaican husband, who's like 23.
Yeah,
who
Jay.
The minute that he got to the States, I think they were married for like a couple days, and she caught him already on Tinder, just trying to swipe me like, I'm in America now. And it was just this little moment that I just like started cracking up because they talked to him and they go, Jay, how many women have you slept with since being in the United States? And he goes, 2. And they go, including your wife. He goes, 3.
Yeah, Jay's kind of like he's very fucking shady, but I think she's also difficult.
Yeah.
It's harder too when you're a young guy and you're coming over, and the woman is a few years older and she has a couple of kids. It is a different. But she said at one point they were arguing, and he had like a whole other relationship going on. And was texting and talking, and he goes, well, let me just go and be happy. She's my age, and that must have hurt.
Age is always a big thing for women.
Because this little
Yeah.
blonde thing that married Jay, like,
She's very cute.
she's super cute. She's not an old lady.
No, she's probably in her 30s.
Yeah.
But he's like 21.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
young swinging dick from
That's
Jamaica.
right.
And he's a good looking guy. He shaves the little cuts into his eyebrows. He's probably rolling in pussy.
well, yeah, and when we met them, it was very clear that the strong bond between them was mainly sexual.
Yeah.
It appeared that they liked having sex all the time. And even like when they were going to get married, every word out of this Jamaican kid Jay's mouth was about fucking her.
But he was dumb though, because he didn't wait. Like, he rushed into being just. It's like, give yourself a time to get used to the fucking States and then start fucking around.
Look, you're 21, 22,
By the way,
23.
I'm doing exactly what I did. You hear me 10 seconds ago, and now what I'm doing, I'm right in again.
Of course you are. It's interesting.
I'm right back in. I know.
What do
I'm
you?
with you.
I know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You
When
know
you
why?
like,
Because you want to be better than this, but we're not.
God, that's exact. All right, Travis said exactly it. I want to be better than this, and I'm not.
None of us are.
You're right. I want to be better than this, and I'm not.
yeah, I don't care about it. I'm not even trying to convince myself that I should be
But
better.
Travis
than
hit
this.
that's exactly what it was. It's like, I really do want to be better. Not for appearances, but in my soul, I want to be better. And I'm not.
But this is
I'm not better.
You don't have to be better than this.
But I'm worse.
You can be worse. It's okay.
I'm not better than this. You're right, Travis.
Look, if you if you have people in your life, friends or whatever.
I do.
That's
Right
not
back.
wasn't the end of the. We're not going to break.
Okay.
If you be right back. If you have friends in your life, loved ones that are going through relationship trauma, and you're like laughing at them and entertained by that, then you're a bad person. If you have people who volunteer for a show, put all their fights on display,
Yep.
knowing this is a show about people fighting with each other, knowing, everybody knows what they're doing here.
Yeah.
And you watch that and you're entertained by people entertaining you with their nonsense. It doesn't make you a bad person.
I don't feel bad when if it just doesn't work out. Like, it happens. Like, he actually at one point said that he didn't have sex with anybody, and she said, "Really?" And he said, "April Fools." But I realize, like, at times, like, the pain these people have is real. Like, so you do kind of at times feel bad for them, even though they're on TV and they volunteer for it. It's like, like they are being kind of, devastated by some of these things. I am curious, though, as to what happened to some of the other couples.
But I mean, think about it. You're a Jamaican kid, 21, 22, 23.
An Irish guy.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh.
You're there. He said, they said he was just fucking everything that moves in Jamaica when he was living there.
Yeah.
You get to the States.
You probably like white women.
I would imagine he went to the States with one, right? You get into the United States. You see these apps where there's just hundreds and hundreds of women at your disposal.
Of the type of women you used to fuck in Jamaica as tourists.
Right.
Now they're everywhere.
And they got money.
And
You think at his age you can be strong enough to sit there and go, you know what? Before I do anything like this, I should wait.
He's a good-looking guy too.
Yeah. Like that's. I mean, it's like being a little kid going into a candy store and saying, I shouldn't have any dessert until after dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But-
You can't. How could he wait?
But it was so funny when the other guy looked at Jay and he's like,
You fucking dirtbag scumbag.
he's probably playing that.
Who's the other guy?
The big guy with the fucking beard. Fucking
The Russian
onion.
guy with the bow tie?
Of course he's Russian with the bow tie. Boy, that guy is a problem. He probably takes giant kielbasi shits.
Yeah, he does.
He could punch through a wall.
Yeah. You're not treating her right.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
So, I think most of my attention was focused on Larissa and Colt. This is the couple that we've talked about. Colty, he is the Godzilla-shaped young man.
Yes, he is, exactly.
The new Godzilla shape.
Yes, he perhaps he's perhaps on the spectrum, judging by the way he sits.
Now, I've heard
His little feet pointed out and his hands on his legs. Crazy. He's the worst sitter ever.
people say that he's not that nice of a guy, and he's very into, like, strip clubs and finding chicks there and going. Apparently, he's kind of perverted.
Oh, good.
Apparently. Not like in an unhealthy way, but apparently he's kind of perverted, and they just don't show that part of him on the show.
That's not true. He's a good boy.
He lives with his mom.
Let's go have some beef stew.
It sounds like that. Debbie. Now, unfortunately, Larissa and Debbie never really got along.
They were at odds.
Yeah, there was a lot of conflict on the show. At one point, Colty did call the police on Larissa and filed charges for physical assault.
Multiple times.
Charges were dropped.
Yeah.
But there were multiple charges of physical assault.
Yeah.
There was another, regrettable moment when Larissa took off her wedding ring and engagement ring as well, the diamond ring, and flushed it down the toilet.
And they discussed how much it was worth last night.
There was didn't agree on it though.
They did not agree because I'm wondering because he doesn't have a lot of money, and they said how much did you spend for that? And he said he spent $2,000, and she took issue with that and said you didn't spend more than $200 on that ring. It's not a particularly great ring.
So she's thinking 200.
And the mother's chimed in. The mother's got it. She just sits there with her. And that's like taking Colty's paycheck and flushing it down the toilet.
I just love that the mother.
She's in on it.
But yeah, that's also where you know what's going on. That the mother sees the financial value of the ring. Not like, I feel like it's one thing if it's $2,000 or $200 or however much it was. But really the symbolism of taking your engagement and wedding ring, whatever it is, and flushing it down the toilet, that should hurt more than the financial value.
3 people walked off last night. That's my favorite thing. There's always someone who storms off set.
Right, but then they come back after the break.
Of course they do.
They come right back because they love the cameras. They could leave at any time.
Or just not go to begin with.
Of course you don't have to go. You realize, this show is really a toxic thing. I'm not going to go back. That's why I don't get upset about it, because they already know the toxic environment that they're in. They're volunteering for the toxicity, and they go, can I please have some more?
I bet you Michael from fucking, where's he from? Was he African or from...
Is Michael the one that...
the guy who was like, oh, she's fat.
Yeah, he's from Africa, and he had an overweight blonde white woman meet him in Africa, and he looked for clothes that were flattering for her, and he let the store clerk know she's a little embarrassed to try things on because she's fat.
Yeah, she is fat. I'll bet you he is still trying to parlay that into a season 2 and trying to find another girl. It's me.
Exactly.
I have another...
Exactly.
I met someone. I guarantee you, all these guys that are no longer on,
Of course.
are looking. Even though he doesn't understand, he was interesting because he was dating her.
Exactly. But they all want a little more of that rub. They all want more fame. I don't know. We got a few clips.
How's the Russian kid doing with his?
Well, yeah. See, like that's one of those that I think that
They're doing
is
okay?
Yeah, that's where they kind of make up a little of the tension. Like I think he's just got normal issues where the dad and the son-in-law don't get along that well.
No, not them. I mean the one who had the baby in Russia, but he didn't file her papers.
Oh.
But it seemed like they were doing okay.
I think they were doing okay. That's why they don't spend much time covering them.
Yeah, and that's kind of annoying. Like I'd like to see them doing well, and
the British couple, the guy who was
She's
stuck
over
in
there
England.
now.
Yeah, she's over there. They're doing fine.
but isn't it like, are they married yet? I guess they are.
I think they're married, yeah.
And he can't get over here.
He can't because he's got assault charges.
Now, will he ever get that dropped or no? I mean, will he ever be able to, or no? They don't know.
I'm not a Bobby.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you
know.
are in someone's lap.
Because of bobbing? You want to see a clip of Larissa and Colt just kind of talking about their marriage to bring everybody up to speed?
Let's get everybody up to speed.
Okay, let's go to track 1. It was a great show. I mean, I missed several episodes this season.
Me too.
But I felt okay. Because again, you don't need to watch every episode.
No.
It's just more fights.
My favorite one is the fucking, I also love the fucking, the chubby white girl who's dating the guy from Morocco. And at the end of it, they realize, she's like, yeah, people are asking why we're not married because it's been 3.5 years. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
3.5 years?
Yeah.
She hasn't seen her in a year. They haven't seen each other in a year.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I don't think that has a great future.
Absence can make the heart grow fonder, though.
Yes, and apparently it doesn't make the waist grow thinner.
Okay. She wouldn't like to hear that.
Well, I mean, look, that's probably the problem why he's probably not doing it. Because she's a big girl.
He did, when he met her, he did mention he was disappointed with her size.
Did he really? And
He
she's
did.
not doing, and it's been 3.5 years and you're not dropping it.
I mean, she hasn't dropped weight. No.
No.
And Russ and Pow are just sitting in the middle so Pow can sit there and judge everybody. She's the greatest.
Yep.
Happy for everything, but I also want my husband, you know.
Larissa, you're using Debbie as an excuse.
No, you don't listen.
Listen.
I say I'm not blaming Debbie.
Yes, you just said you wish I was the man for you, your husband for you, but Debbie. Like, you could have been a wife anytime. You could have been there for me. I don't think you've done anything for me at all in the time that we
Did
were
you
married.
remember when I tried to clean the house and Debbie gets upset? Debbie is territorial like a cat, you know? And she doesn't, we want all other woman there. You know this.
I think
by the way,
this
they
is-
show the faces, they're all looking at each other. Either they just take shots of them looking and dub it in to get reactions.
They're
or aren't
laughing at him. Like, I think it's so funny to watch a couple arguing on television. It's one of the biggest shows on cable. And they're just sitting there going, remember I tried to clean the house? And Debbie was like, oh, you can't clean the house. We got to do a fight. And it's like, that's what we're watching.
Yep.
It's great.
It's just watching people.
It does make you feel better about your own interactions. You're like, oh, I'm doing great. My relationship is so healthy.
By the way, Brian in Philly is exactly correct. I know I'm going to keep watching for all the fucking shit I just talked. I'm not better than this. Travis, am I better than this? Oh, where's Travis?
You went to take
Rob knows
taking
you're
a
not
shit.
better than this too. I don't know why you were going off on that.
Well, it's just something that I've
like
thought
you got
of.
so woke all of a sudden.
No, it wasn't. Well, I just was annoyed with myself. I'm like, why am I enjoying this? But that Travis hit the nail on the head.
You became a woke SJW.
Yes, I did.
Let's go to Brian in Philly. What's up, Brian?
Hello, white male.
Cis white male. What's up, Brian?
Hey guys, how
man.
you doing?
Good.
Do you have the scene where sexy Chantel is yelling at Colty and she says, "Don't say another word to me, and Colty just sits back and he goes, 2 things, 3 things, and her head fucking explodes.
I don't know. Thank you, buddy. I mean, the fights between the couples interacting with each other is great. And that's another reason, by the way, why Chantel is the one that got the spinoff show. Just because she's like super hot.
I guess she is.
She's a little ditzy. Like the more you get to know her, the more you're like, this is a lot to deal with. She's a bit of a ditz.
A little?
She's a bit of a ditz. Do you find her to be ditzy, Rob?
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch her show at all?
I haven't seen it yet, no. There's so many hours of this. I only have so
only
many
so
hours
many
in the day.
hours.
I'm trying to raise my...
Her show at all?
I haven't seen it yet, no. There's so many hours of this. I only have so
only
many
so
hours
many
in the day. I'm trying to raise my own family,
They're
you
doing
know.
another before the 90 days starting.
Of
like
course
last
they are.
night.
This is becoming the 90-day network.
Are you guys watching? You watching The Other Way?
Not yet.
Oh, it's
No.
great.
I'm sure it's amazing.
Do you like these shows?
I'm addicted.
They're great.
I like 2 shows on television. This one and Ancient Aliens.
Now,
That's
what
about
is
it.
what is the what is the
90 Day the other way?
yeah? It's when they go live there.
They go there.
Which, I mean, it sounds amazing.
It
sounds
just-
fucking incredible.
This old lady goes with this young Indian guy, moves over to India. He wants her to wear like the traditional stuff.
Of course, they're in India.
He never told his parents, so he lied to his parents to move somewhere else. And then the old lady's upset.
How old are we talking?
She's in her 60s. He's probably 30.
That's great. See, already I'm hooked. I think that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does sound interesting.
These people
I'm
move
sure.
to third world countries.
And it's also
Right.
so funny. The couple that with the chubby lady there and her husband or boyfriend in Morocco.
Nicole and Azin.
Thank you. Yes. Are you going to move there with him? And it's almost like, do you really think he wants to live in his home country with her? He wants to get to America. He's not going to live there with her.
Of course. Yeah, you got
What a
Chantel.
goose.
You're gonna have Chantel on this new show, running around in a bikini on the Dominican Republic, and then fighting with her in-laws. That sounds like a great show.
I just don't like when it feels forced and like I like if it's going to be conflict and they show it. Okay, fine,
Bro,
But I don't. It's like that a lot of them are just like, oh, here's the 2 families.
what are you watching? You know what I mean? This is what this is.
I guess it is.
Something else kind of funny. I don't know if you noticed, like when they take a break and stuff, they're all drinking Red Bull.
Of course they are. Like, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Just trying to jack them up.
Of course.
Get you way caffeined up.
Right. You want another Red Pill? They're trying to give him 6 packs of Pepsi.
I'll bet there's
in the
liquor
break.
backstage too.
Of course there's liquor. Of course there is.
You go drink?
Yeah, here, like, Colt, let's relax, have a shot. And you'll see, we'll play a couple clips. The more Colt gets worked up, the more he's, like, demanding that they do things. Like, he's trying to direct the show, and they never listen to him.
No, they did with one thing though.
Well,
Because he was going to leave.
yeah, it took him a while, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the description. It's Colt and Larissa talking about their marriage.
Larissa, you could have been more patient. That's all I wanted.
You know this, Coach. You cannot deny.
Larissa, there were a lot of people who questioned whether you even loved Colt. What would you say to them?
I truly love Coach. In my way, I did everything for him, and maybe it wasn't enough. Plus, we had problems.
Do you think Larissa really loved you?
No!
I don't know.
What? Of course not. No, of course not.
She might have, on some level, had something for him, but
Jim, you are such a sucker for love.
No, I just
She wanted to come to the States.
she 100%. But I also think that he was in the mother thing. Like I think that might have just made her go, "What the fuck is this?"
It was the torso thing, too.
Yeah, the torso thing's not good.
Larissa's hot. A bit nutty, but hot.
A bit. I think she's. My opinion is that she has some kind of a personality disorder.
Yeah, but hot.
Yeah. Not
Probably fun.
hot. What's that?
Probably a lot of fun.
Oh yes, but not hot enough. She has kids. She said that at the end. I want for my kids. I didn't know she had kids,
Not in the States.
but not hot enough to pull this off. Like to
With
be
Colt?
as difficult. Yeah, I guess so.
With Cole, you have to figure out, like, what's the ratio here?
Colt never got a woman like that before that
I
could
guess
rock
so.
his world like that.
That's true. You think she
No.
fucks him good?
Amazing.
And I'm going to make a wild prediction here. I don't think Colt looks that good naked.
No.
I disagree.
I think he may have torso issues.
Maybe, and his little feet point out.
I think so. I think so.
I mean, there's times where he has full on breasts.
Yeah, he does.
Look, Troy, if we could refer to them as torso issues, let's keep it fair,
Yeah, he had a lot of time to slim down. He didn't.
Did he still have the breasts at the reunion?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he was very, very busty.
Busty.
Yeah, he was Meatloaf in Fight Club.
You know, Meatloaf's nickname in Fight Club was, I believe, Bitch Tits.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure we're all on the same page.
Larissa loved me, but the way she acted, she never listened to anything that I needed or wanted from her. She always complained about my mother or money or the car or everything was wrong with her.
The problem was, Coach, I tried to work out.
You ignored me 99% of the time. I just said I wanted a hug. You called me needy. I asked you to calm down, not to yell and scream and go crazy because you wanted to clean the garage. I said, just chill out. We cannot even get along together as a couple, and you're worried about cleaning the garage.
Yeah, he wants a hug. She goes, "You're needy.
You're needy. Go clean the garage, you needy."
Yeah.
And then we'll go straight to the third clip because the mom came on.
Yeah. She didn't do what she said she was gonna do.
It's
I
always,
want her to get deported.
it's always good when you're confronting your ex-wife on television because they're divorced now already, Colty and Larissa.
They are, yeah.
It's always good when you're confronting your ex-wife on television to have your mom there to support you.
Yep.
You know?
Being here is...
Can you already hear the Jim impression?
So good.
Like to anybody that doesn't watch. Can you hear that? Like it's a spot-on impression.
If Larissa starts attacking me, I will attack back. I'm just going to clap back. I'm not going to let her talk to me that way.
And what's amazing is Jim does a pretty good physical impression of her as well.
Thank you. That was not intentional.
Oh, is that right? You didn't come in your in
My
your
pants?
In
Yes,
your,
I did.
In your Debbie outfit?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, my mistake.
I'm sure Larissa is going to be blaming me for everything.
She looks like an old male country western singer. That outfit.
Yeah, like Porter Wagner towards the end.
Yeah, like she should be fucking getting a lifetime achievement at the Grand Ole Opry on the fucking Country Channel.
She's got a rhinestone jacket on with fringes on the arms.
Boy, there's a lot of cameras there.
Yeah, they got a lot of cameras. They want to make sure they catch everything.
They film everyone.
Yeah, they got tons of cameras so that they get every bit of footage they can get and lots of coverage backstage.
Her upcoming court date isn't very far away, and I want her to be deported. Because as long as she's here, she'll always have Colt to fall back on, and I don't want that. Guys, she's gotten skinny.
Hey, Mom.
You don't want to hear that.
Debbie.
Hello.
You been watching?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't hear her real well.
Oh, good.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
Hi, Debbie. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm fantastic. My question to you is, what was it like living with Larissa during this time?
She was a real cunt. She would always make fun of my apartment and talk about my son's bosoms.
Man, look how skinny Colt's ankles are.
Yeah.
I mean, you wonder,
Yeah.
how can ankles that size support what's above it?
My son has tiny ankles and a little head. He has parentheses disease.
It's like you just got the font size all wrong. The font size is 16. The parentheses is a 7.
Little teeny ankles, little bowling shoes.
He's got, yeah,
Not comfortable.
and he's got that tiny little head. You see, the head is depressing because when somebody's got a head that size and ankles that size, you realize that they're not. The genetics haven't made them overweight.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you see a fat guy with a fat head, you go, you know, it's one of those things where there's probably a lot of genetics. He's going to have to work really hard to get that weight off because he's probably got a lot of fat folks in his family. When you see a guy with a small head and small ankles and a big fat torso, you go, okay, that's just indulgence. Yep. That's just somebody who enjoys a treat.
Hell. It was hell. Larissa is very moody. One day she wake up, she's happy as can be, she's all friendly, and the next day she'd wake up and she wouldn't talk to you.
Larissa, was that true? Were you very moody with Debbie? Would she try to say good morning?
I never blame you 100%, Debbie. If you listen to me, I always say what a good mother. You take care of your son. But, yes, I won't lie to you. I wanted to live with Coach alone. And yes, I agree with Debbie. I was very moody and I was in the very bad environment.
I mean, to be fair to Larissa,
living with somebody and their mom.
Yeah, I mean, coming to another country to marry a man and then you have to live with his mom.
Yeah,
it's not exactly a dream scenario.
And his mom is not like just in the bedroom ill. His mom is like running the household.
Right, and she's got a very annoying voice as she runs the household.
My glasses. Where's my hairdo? Where's my hair gel?
You threw your rig down the toilet?
That's one of Colty's paychecks. Colt shouldn't have to deal with this. I don't like air conditioning.
Why does Colty's mom know anything about Colty's paychecks?
She shouldn't.
My mom doesn't know anything about my paychecks.
I love my mother.
She handles his bills still, I bet.
I bet she does too.
Colty, just put your money in my account. I'll handle it.
I'll
make you some of the succotash in the morning.
Succotash.
Your favorite blueberry pancakes and succotash.
That's his breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah, extra roll of toilet paper.
You're gonna have a double helping.
Yeah, the mother was a little bit of a bitch. Remember how upset she got when Larissa wanted the slot machine that was in the dining room?
Larissa asked shitty though. She asked shitty.
Larissa said that she wanted the slot machine thrown out because there's a slot machine in the living room.
She wasn't
Larissa
very nice.
was ready for it to go in the garbage, and Debbie was extremely pissed.
Larissa was very rude.
Larissa was rude, and she would walk around in her underwear all the time.
I would like that.
I would like that, but my mom would hate it.
So you're a big fat ass.
Imagine live with your mom, and Larissa's walking around with her ass cheeks sticking out all the time. Like, your mom doesn't need to know what her son's tapping, right?
Yeah.
No mother wants to know. But Larissa made it known.
She did.
Yes, she did.
Debbie, did you want Colt and Larissa's marriage to succeed?
I don't hate Larissa. I hate what she's done to
I feel
Colt.
the same about you, Debbie. But of course, when involving her son, she'll take care of him. She'll protect him.
I try to stay away from them as much as possible to let them live their life.
Yeah.
It's hard though when you're fucking in the same kitchen.
Right. trying to elbow each other out to use the same one frying pan in the household.
Yeah.
Everybody needs eggs.
Larissa pulled a real cunt move yesterday.
She did. You want to go to clip 4? To me, this made the show. I thought it was great.
And that's why they did it.
I thought
for all my nonsense before I watched it.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
This is what you want. Human drama.
I know.
Come on.
I guess I would want to get back with Larissa.
Never say never.
Okay, right. So here we are. We're like, okay.
He said he loves her already.
He did.
He's like, I still love you.
And she said, never say never. And you're like, oh my God. Maybe we're going to see Colt and Larissa get back together.
Even though they're divorced.
They're divorced now, but still, some bonds are just too strong to be broken, right? Right.
So you're not saying no?
No.
What? Are you there with somebody, Larissa?
Okay, stop it, host.
And she looks off.
Stop it, host.
She looks off and smiles at somebody off camera. This is where again, it's TV, but it's like, you fucking assholes.
Dude, it's exposed later in the show that there's a producer in the room with Larissa. Even though Larissa's joining them on Skype, there's a producer in the room with them.
And this guy has to be mic'd. The other guy has to be mic'd.
Of course the other guy has to be mic'd. So everybody who's making the show is aware. All guests on the show are invited guests.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm with Eric.
You're with your boyfriend, Eric, right? Is he listening to this?
He's listening. He's like...
No, I'm not.
He's not.
And they pull back and he's sitting right there off camera while she's on the bed.
He's been mic'd.
Yep.
Ready to just jump on.
Ready to jump on.
And they're giggling because...
By the way, I bet he came in recently. He wasn't there the whole time. He came in he probably listened on a monitor, but then came into the room at the very
chair
end.
was waiting for him. It's like, okay, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Just in case he made any sounds or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Your friend just heard you say you would basically think about getting back together with...
No, I don't say that I want it, but I say that no. So I don't answer. Yeah, no answer.
Her dumb smile. Her dumb smile.
She thinks it's funny.
Yeah,
She's like,
she
how
does.
hilarious is this? You were just like, maybe we'll get back together. And I was like, this is the dude I'm fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, and Colt is like...
She should be with me. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, Colt can't be happy. This guy's like, he's in pretty good shape. Good-looking guy.
He's in better shape.
He is in better shape.
Yeah. I found him fairly hateable, but
Of course he's
that's
hateable.
that's the role he's playing.
He's a scumbag.
But I don't know if he is or not. He just met a girl who's divorced.
He's laughing at her ex on TV, like, ha ha, I'm fucking this chick. You brought her over here, but now I'm fucking her.
Yep.
Isn't that funny? Like, that's not a nice thing to do. That's very mean.
Probably.
He's a bad guy.
Met her on Tinder.
Of course he did.
That's kind of hitting the jackpot.
Yeah, because now you got this TV
Now
gig
you're
out of
reality.
it.
She was on Tinder. Right? That's...
She's doing the same thing that Jamaican Jay was.
Yep.
Does that mean you're thinking about it?
Are you legally married still?
No, we're not.
Larissa, can Eric pop in for a second?
God.
Where is he?
No, what a spontaneous call by the host. Oh, do you think Eric could just pop in that chair that you're sitting on
Mike's
the bed?
Eric pop in?
Yeah. Would you guys mind sitting on the bed together?
By the way, I love how she's talking into an iPhone, but they have giant cameras that they can put in. Like I don't
and
get
lighting.
it. Yeah, and lighting.
Right.
Time. What am I missing here?
That's not an iPhone that we're seeing. By the way, you're not watching her through an iPhone, I don't think. Does iPhone have that good of connection?
I think it is.
Yeah, good. If you get good internet, I'm sure.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be in the room because she is Skyping in. But yeah, I mean, but there's other full-fledged cameras in there with her for other shots. Yeah.
This is really awkward.
He's calling me. I'm like, Eddie Key.
So can we all just get along? What am I missing, first of all?
You don't know what you're missing, huh?
It sounds like it.
So, Eric.
Colt is
how
bummed
did you-
out.
Yeah.
Colt is bummed out.
Colt is the mayor of Bum City.
Yeah. The body language was not good because when he sat down, he casually put his arm on the bed, but he put it over her entire body, almost like he was wrapping her legs in his arm. And it was like very possessive, like to say, this is my chick. I'm a good looking guy in good shape, and this is the girl that I'm with. And Colty was like, yeah, we were just, because right before you got here, we were just, maybe talking about getting back together. I got her into the country. So I was thinking maybe we'd talk about that. I didn't know you were coming.
So he probably thought he could have her back whenever he wanted.
But this dude is there now.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that stinks.
You guys first meet?
From the internet. And I'll tell you, actually, I'd gotten out of a relationship, and that day, I messaged her, we matched. And when I met her, I was like, wow.
You consider Larissa your girlfriend, right?
I would say so. Wait, is she not considering me her boyfriend?
Yeah.
There was a conversation.
Isn't it so weird, like watching these two like be cute together, and it's like they have no idea.
That's why Larissa's kind of hateable,
right? That everybody else is like, oh my god, this is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen, and these two are just like giggling, like we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's why I feel bad for Colt. Yeah.
And the mom,
shitty.
The mom is just sitting there going like, I don't know what to do anymore.
I never liked her. We'll get her out of the country, Cole. You won't have to deal with this.
Yeah. And Colt is like, do I just sit here with my mom now?
Yeah.
I mean, his ex is with some good-looking, in-shape guy, and he's with his mom. That's not a good look, man.
No. I like when she blurts out, I want her deported.
We're going to get her out of here.
Just a few seconds ago, I asked Larissa if she would want to get back together with Colt, and she said never say never.
Well, if that's the case, then I'll have to hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Larissa, how would you describe this relationship that you have?
He's so condescending. Like, he's sitting there talking to the host going, lady, I'm not worried. She's not going back to Colty.
Yeah.
And Colty is just sitting there looking like,
And that's why she didn't probably go to New York, because she was with her boyfriend.
Yeah, she's hanging with her dude.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
No.
I believe there's something legally involved where she can't be there.
There might be.
Yeah, it was her third legal trial was coming up.
Oh, no, I know that.
Her third. Assault charges?
Yes.
Yep. I see.
Yeah.
I see. You think Larissa every now and then loses her temper?
Yep.
Yeah.
With Eric. Do you consider him your boyfriend?
I consider Eric my boyfriend. He's very sweet. He's hardworking. He's a good partner. When we argue, we make it up like this. We always try to be happy.
They're looking at Colt, just staring at the ceiling like, why God? Why has my life ended up this way? She says things like he's hardworking, and she looks at the camera like, unlike you, Colt.
Yeah.
It's
And we
really...
make it up. I mean, he puts up with her shit.
Yeah. Colt's just staring at the ceiling like, I don't know. I wish one of these lights. He's staring right at a light going, please, fall down on my head and kill me right now, because this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, humiliating.
Humiliating.
Glad that I got a fixture for you. I went through all the
Fixed her.
Larissa, why are you doing this?
I'm not doing anything.
Yes, you are. Why is he there? Why? He has no business there. Why are you doing this? To hurt him?
So, shut up. Larissa, you're an ass.
He tells mom to shut up.
He had enough of his mom. There's no reason for you to be doing this.
That's like what you would do with your significant
You're
other.
hurting
Like,
him.
His mom is next to him. His mom's yelling at his ex.
My son is almost obese. And that man's in very good physical condition.
Mom, you're not helping, Mom. Please stop.
His genitals are probably more functional.
Stop it, Mom. It doesn't help at all.
My son is going to be crying all over his own bosoms.
Please, Mom, don't bring up the bosoms again.
Mom, please, I have to talk to her.
Please don't bring up the bosoms, Mom.
My son sits with his feet pointed out and his hands on his knees.
What, Mom? That doesn't. Where does that help the argument, Mom?
Or Colt.
It's not in the budget right now. It's not in the budget.
Or Colt.
Do you think that was what Colt said to her when she said, "You didn't bring me flowers"? And he was like, "We don't have the budget for it. We have to be smart. We have to make smart choices."
It's not in the budget.
Do you think that she ever hears it's not in the budget from this stud?
Nope.
Nope. You don't mind spending a couple bucks?
You're an ass, Larissa. I poured my heart out to you.
It's not, why are you blaming me? You know that's under my control.
My heart out to you, and you're laughing, making fun of me.
Coachy, no, I didn't.
I used to respect you up until about 5 minutes ago.
You lost her respect.
Oh, they're just mocking the mom. It's just because they're smiling as they're arguing.
They really are. They have dumb. We're gonna fuck right after the smiles.
Oh, you think that's what that smile is?
Yep.
Oh no! Do you think Colty and the mom know that they're doing that? That's a fuck smile.
Yep.
Oh no! He goes like this. Hey Larissa, you just lost her respect. Like, oh
yeah, he's hateable.
They couldn't care less. They're talking to poor Colt and Colt's mom like they're not even human beings. Like they're just children.
Well, no, let's go to Amy real quick. I don't understand this anger.
What's up, Amy? Amy in New York.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, Amy.
I cannot stand Pal. I want to send her home with her double chin, and she's nuts.
I mean, she just had a kid.
I don't care. She's a nut job, and I feel bad for Russ.
Well, we like. Thank you, Amy. We like Pow, but she does her role, and that's why we don't really have that many clips of Pow. Is because her and Russ don't really fight so much. Right. Pow just gets involved in the other fights and tells people what they should or shouldn't be doing. Yeah. And I think that's great.
Pow did the when I met her in Dallas.
Yeah.
When I was doing the improv, she did the the ice bucket challenge.
Oh my God, I remember that video.
Yeah.
What a video.
Yeah, she was really nice.
She seems nice.
She's a delight.
We've had her on the show before.
Many times.
When we first started,
or
we
had
had
times, not many, but
we had her on the phone. But we had Russ and Pow in studio when we first started doing this.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to poor Colty and his mom not being taken seriously at all.
No.
So, Eric, do you feel threatened by Colt at all?
Absolutely.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. Why'd you have to say that? I'm just kidding. He's like, absolutely. She's like, what? He's like, come on. Larissa looks at him and goes, you're threatened? And he goes, no, I'm not threatened.
Look at me.
What? Of him? No.
Yeah, Eric is hateable.
Like he's looking at he's every high school bully that you ever had to deal with. Is this Eric character.
And he has one impression to make, though.
That's true.
On this show, so he's like, I'm going for it.
Yeah, he did. He's actually playing his role very well.
He's probably trying to get that spinoff.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, we could shit on everybody if you want. We're always here.
It's not my fault, you know this. And Eric is nice. He's
I don't
here.
care.
He's a good
I don't
guy.
care.
He's very nice.
You're
touching each other the whole time.
Okay, I cannot talk to them.
Larissa,
I cannot talk to them.
You're a monster.
32 years old, divorcing. I'm not married. Until they don't calm down.
All I
and
said was I hope you get deported and you're going to go to
I want
jail.
to film anymore. This is too toxic for me.
Hold on, okay, because
I don't want to be here to be
getting
betrayed by them as she's sitting with her boyfriend.
She said it's too toxic for her. The other people are too toxic for
I
her.
hope you get deported and get sent back.
You're a monster.
This
When they
conversation.
stop to offend me, I can come back with my boyfriend.
Oh, what a cunt.
And she hung up.
Is he bothered?
No, what are you doing?
He's telling a lot of lies, a lot of things. I don't want to be this anymore. When they come back with respect, starts calling me a lot of things, I will answer.
So she turned off the phone, but this is another thing. Like, she turned off the phone to be dramatic, and then she calls back. She turns it right back on, and then Colt leaves, and then he walks back on.
They all do it.
He starts saying, "Get them off the screen," and they're like, "No, we're not going to." It's just like, he's like, "Hey, you, get off the screen," and they're like, "No, Colt. How?" But the answer's no.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you want to cover here.
I guess we could just kind of cover the end. I mean, we don't.
Clip 6 is my favorite.
Oh, I was
That's
I was thinking clip 6. Okay, clip 6 is this is when. So now Larissa is called back. Colt has walked off. Colt has also come back, but he comes back now and he's saying, "I want Eric off the screen." And Eric is the new boyfriend who's like, "I think I'm going to stay." And that's where we're at.
Listen, listen. I want to talk now. Can I talk, please? Eric, I don't know who you are. I don't care. But I want you off. You're disrespecting
What you want, you can't always get, sir.
Who the are you? Get off the screen.
Face the facts. It didn't work.
You're not a part of this, dude.
Do you see Larissa laughing?
Yeah.
She's covering her mouth laughing because he goes, "Who the fuck are you?" Who the fuck are you? He's so mad. He can't control himself.
Don't yell, you're going to get your blood pressure up.
Who the fuck are you? You rewind a little bit. Because he goes...
And she does laugh at him.
She's laughing. She's got her mouth covered. He goes, "I want you off the screen." Well, you don't always get what you want. Who the fuck are you?
Who you are? I don't care. But I want you off. You're disrespecting
What you want, you can't always get, sir.
Who the are you? Get off the screen.
Face the facts. It didn't work.
You're not a part of this, dude. Get off.
Looks like I am.
And he just has these hateable eyes
and expressions. Yeah.
He goes, looks like I am, and he looks around the room at all the lights and stuff, and then he looks directly into the camera lens as if he's piercing the soul of Colt himself. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? And
she's leaning on his shoulder.
Larissa's leaning on him.
Yeah,
like, oh, my shining white knight.
This is bull.
Okay, hold on.
He's very nice.
Oh, Colt is leaving again.
Watch when Colt stands up. Just go back to his feet.
Oh, he didn't want that.
Watch how his feet point out.
No. He doesn't want that.
I love how his feet point out.
He's pigeon-toed.
No. Pigeon-toed is in.
Yeah.
He needs arch support.
He points out because there's a lot of balance on the sides. Oh, he doesn't want that being pointed out. They go to the sides.
Get him off the thing. I don't want him there.
He has no business being there. Cole didn't bring a girl. This is wrong.
Cole brought his mom.
Yeah, Cole just brought me.
As if that was a good idea.
I'm his mother. I care about him.
Cole didn't bring a girl. Why would he bring you?
Yeah, brought his mom.
What are you doing here? And I just love because he goes like he's telling all the producers. He leaves the sound stage, and he's telling all the producers, get him off the stage, or get him off the screen, and they're all just kind of looking at him like, I don't think we're gonna do that. I think we'll probably leave him there for the time being. It's too good, right?
I won't talk bad about you. Coach.
Oh,
Goldie.
Her dumb smile.
His mom is just sitting there on the couch.
Because Colt thought he was actually going to probably get back with her with this. This is like a reunion.
Yeah. I love it. Rewind just a little. It doesn't matter. The producer just goes up to him and goes, "Are you okay?" Colt goes, "No."
Okay.
No.
He's not. No.
Of course he's not okay.
Poor Colt.
Oh, poor Colt is right.
She does have her court case, though. They I like that they kind of hung in there and finished it up with her court case.
Yeah, do you want to see the court case clip?
Yeah, it's almost, I mean, just the very end.
Okay, go to clip 9.
To wrap this up, she goes into court.
And is she in the courthouse? Is there people drilling and hammering?
Yes, there are. The judge.
Because I could hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is from the show. And she has the assault charge, the third one.
I'm here in the courthouse today for my negotiation hearing of this third
And she's still with the guy, Eric.
And I looked up, because I was like, is this guy fake? Is this a put on? And I looked up Larissa's Instagram, and he's been on her Instagram for the last 6 months.
Oh, so they've been together for a while.
Yeah, they've been together, I think, since like the beginning of the year, based on the Instagram.
Yeah, I knew this was coming.
Oh, yeah. But did you know they were in the same room?
No, I didn't see that.
That was a nice little surprise. Nice little how do you do?
So she's not getting back with Colt.
No, this guy's in much better shape and appears to support her much better too. He seems like he's a little nuts himself.
You have to be.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Yes, Colt. I don't see him here.
It's in there. You don't need to look at him. You don't need to do anything. Just go in.
I don't know if Debbie and Colt can influence my case, but I think that both are dangerous and they want revenge.
Hey guys.
Hi, Adam.
Hey Larissa, good to see you.
Oh, the
Hi, Adam.
Eric-y. She can't help it.
Eric-y. Yeah, but I wonder, this is the lawyer, Eric, who's slightly, he looks exactly like the boyfriend, except slightly taller and slightly better looking.
Yeah.
So I wonder if now the boyfriend, who's such a shithead, is going, uh-oh, just in case.
No, I don't think she'll fuck the lawyer.
Why?
I mean, maybe, but I mean, the lawyer's got shit to do. He's not dealing with this.
Maybe you're right.
He's just negotiating her down to a misdemeanor.
He doesn't need his life ruined.
No.
Get you, I'm Eric.
Okay, Larissa, today's the big day, okay?
Do you think that you have a chance to go to the jail?
I don't know. So it's very important.
So basically, he's just telling her.
It's a fake conversation.
It is, yeah. Do you think they probably say, ask if you're going to go to jail? Do you think I can go?
Negotiation we make today, you go along with those requirements, okay?
All of this may have happened after the case anyway. You don't know when they actually had the conversation.
Oh, like they film it after they leave the courthouse.
They already know the results.
Yeah.
We don't need to see all of it. We can just go to the very, just the very end.
Let's see when Colt shows up.
Yeah, Colt and his mom show up.
I'd like to hear Colt's commentary on the whole thing. Colt has grown his hair out a little bit. It's slicked back
little goatee.
now. He's got a beard.
Lost weight?
Some.
Yeah, not all.
Yeah. It's a process.
Got an ass.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
Yeah,
that really is one of the key issues here in this whole thing. That ass has made a lot of men do a lot of things.
Do you think
they
Colt
shouldn't have
misses
done.
it?
Yeah.
You think he's probably had?
She took care of him when she needed to. She rocked his world.
Yeah, but he's probably had a lot of partners that look like that.
No.
Okay.
Alive and they can be deported.
Called his mom. Pull up, of course. The two of them.
Yeah, well, Colt's got to ride in style.
I'm a little cautious about seeing Larissa today. I was really depressed after I came back from the tell-all. It was really hard. I felt like I hit rock bottom.
I hate his hands in his pockets.
Yeah, I mean, with the torso issues that we discussed before, you don't want to put your hands in your pockets because it opens up your jacket and
the hands just kind of flop out like they're half in the fucking.
Because the slacks are tight because of the thigh issue that we haven't discussed yet, but it's similar to the torso issue.
It's good juicy thighs.
He does. He does a lot of meat on them bones.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she played me, and I don't really want to see her.
Okay, let's go. I would like Larissa to go to
I
jail.
think that she should be executed. The death penalty is allowed, and I think they should execute her.
Oh, Mom.
She gets away with everything in her life, so at this point I would like her to take responsibility for something.
I think she probably will.
What?
Larissa, I think she'll probably find
I think so. Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's
absolutely.
Oh, it's just a great show.
So she got to stay. They plead it down to like she has to do community service and some nonsense, but she gets to stay.
The moment on this reunion special that really broke Colt was when the boyfriend goes, "If need be, I would sell my house and move to Brazil with her." And Colty goes, "What's going on? What's going on?" Because you realize how real it is.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no.
He lost her.
Yep.
At the end, she says, Colty and Debbie suck it. Because they don't control whether or not she stays anymore.
Nice.
You know, Colty and Debbie suck it.
I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
And now, she has to fight. She still has to try to immigrate here.
Yeah.
But Eric ain't moving to Brazil, and she won't want him in Brazil.
Nah, she wants to be here.
She wants to go. She's in Brazil. She don't want some Brazilian guy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we should take a break.
Yeah.
It's just a great show. It really is wonderful.
Yeah, I'll keep watching.
Yeah, Car Crash TV is good TV. It's good stuff.
Catch up on the other way.
And you think we need to catch up? We can't just jump in?
No, you start from the beginning. It's
How many
great.
episodes in is it?
It's a couple in. It's probably 8 or 9 in.
Oh my God, it's hours.
But it's dude, it's great.
All right, I'll look into it. We got to take a break. We got to, Anya Marina, our friend, is coming in later on this morning, and we got to give an update on James Dolan. James Dolan was back in the news. He's the lead singer of our favorite band, JD and the Straight Shot. So we'll give you an update on that. We'll be right back.
Wait.
Yep.
I want to plug. I'm going to Columbus the 9th and 10th, Timonium, Maryland the 16th and 17th at Magoobies. And go to the Chip Chipperson YouTube page. I think a brand new animation is going up today, a really good one. And I have the episode that we did up in Montreal is actually, people are really enjoying that.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah,
doing very well.
It was a fun one. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Push, and it was not solid yet.
Well, maybe you didn't need to go at that point.
No, I did, but it was mushing through slowly.
Yeah, maybe you wait.
You know what I mean? It'd be like, again, putting one hand and then your hand and then your other hand, and just like it's like trying to squeeze toothpaste out of a.
Yeah, but that's usually a good sign that you didn't need to be going that early.
I felt like that little push.
Wasn't there though?
Peanut butter through a tube sock.
It
A
was a
little bit
false
came
alarm.
out. Yeah, it was awful.
Oof, that's
no.
disgusting.
It went, but it wasn't much. There was a lot to wipe.
I'm glad you shared. Just wanted to make sure that
Just the way you think
everybody
I was
knew.
up there lollygagging.
Oh no, good. Yeah, we were all concerned and worried. I wonder if Jim's lollygagging again.
Glide on by.
So the concert that we were supposed to go to, of course, here on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, we've been fans of JD and the Straight Shot for a very long time.
Yep.
And we were all supposed to go to a concert as a show that was going down in Huntington, right? In Long Island?
Yeah,
In the Paramount?
Yeah.
I understand it was sold out.
Do you?
No, what had happened was we lost interest.
Oh.
Yeah, because none of us really said anything about it after we first brought it up. And then the concert came and went, and none of us went. We were going to try to do a show event, get everybody to buy tickets and do a whole thing. And then for whatever reason, we all just lost interest. Is that fair?
Yep.
Fair to say?
Yep.
But at this show, apparently a reporter for Bloomberg Business Week went. She bought a ticket. She paid like $38 and bought a ticket. She was the one to go see the show. You think the Paramount might be a little bit of a big venue? How many does the Paramount seat?
1,000.
You think that might be a little stretch?
Probably.
A little bit of a stretch?
Yep, probably.
1,000?
He doesn't own it, though.
No, he doesn't own it.
Yeah, close to 1,000.
Yeah,
1,500.
1,500?
That's standing room, probably, yeah.
Well, I'm sure it was standing room. It's a concert.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it was standing and seats. I think seats in the front and then standing room in the back.
Oh, okay.
So a chair for all.
Yep.
Oh, man.
That's big.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it is. For music, it's probably 1,500, right?
Does it make you feel better or feel good that there's a good chance that Chip sold more tickets than JD and the Straight Shot?
Oh, I think that's very safe to assume.
Yeah, I would think so as well. Chip did very well at the Paramount.
Yes, he did.
JD probably not.
Probably not as well.
But this I don't know if she's young or not.
Doing a story on the Knicks.
This reporter, yeah, she was there doing a story on the Knicks.
The Knickerbockers.
And I guess she hadn't actually gotten approval for an interview, but she went to the concert knowing that he would be there performing. And she wrote that JD, because he was in music mode.
Yep.
Not James Dolan.
No,
JD.
JD.
He was not happy that a reporter had come to see his show, is what this reporter wrote. He said he hadn't authorized an interview and that I wasn't allowed to be there, despite this being a public show in a public venue. And he repeatedly insisted that his music was not about him and therefore should not be mentioned in the article, an article about a CEO whose company happens to run one of the world's most significant music venues. She says at one point, he flipped my notebook closed. Finally, he stormed off and summoned security guards to make me leave.
He's a bit of a baby.
When I protested, one of them offered me cash to cover the cost of my ticket. He said that while removing reporters was not the venue's policy, Dolan was the headliner and could make such requests. Actually, Matt Costa played last. Sorry to have missed you, Matt. I don't know what that means. But
he was not the headliner.
Yeah, he was the headliner. Matt Costa was actually the headliner. The venue was saying JD is the headliner. He can do whatever he wants.
JD's not the headliner. And
But
by
he
the
wasn't
way,
the headliner?
You can't just throw somebody out for being there.
I believe JD was the first band of 3 to go on.
No, I thought I thought this was a JD and the Straight Shot show.
No, this tour was not a JD vehicle.
Oh no, it's a good thing we didn't go then. I'd be so disappointed.
Why? You would have been out early. Catch the first band.
No, that's true.
Go home.
The Wallflowers can sell it out on their own.
Well, they're the Wallflowers. They got one headlight.
That's true.
Great song.
That's true. He's the best Dylan as far as singing goes.
Okay.
Songwriting, you know. Man, so he kicked it. He not only, it's one thing if he refused to, better than Ezra can do it by themselves. Oh, I see.
Oh, do you see that?
Sirius XM is presenting this tour, by the way. Sirius XM, the Coffee House Tour, presents Matt Costa, JD and the Straight Shot.
Matt Hartke.
And
okay,
Matt
so
Hartke.
they were second.
Second to, who's Matt Costa?
Matt Costa is the headliner.
No, but do you know who that is?
Yeah, he's a singer-songwriter. Yeah.
Oh.
I never heard of him.
I just figured that one
headlined
out.
the Paramount.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So you do know.
Yeah. Of course I know.
Yeah, I've never heard of Matt Costa before in my life, so that's a bummer for JD and the Straight Shot.
Do you remember on Opie and Anthony, we were talking about some ice cream, Travis, some bacon ice cream that you liked?
Yeah.
And you said something about, like, it was bacon-flavored ice cream, and Travis was like, yeah, they just took bacon and put it in the ice cream, and Anthony said, wow, you really put the whole thing together there, didn't you?
Wow, you remember that?
Yeah. It was such a funny line.
That was a Burger King. That was delicious.
Was it Burger King?
Yeah. Anthony's a funny motherfucker.
Yes, he is.
I do remember when they did bacon ice cream.
It was delicious.
It was
Yeah, it was
delicious. Yes, so
I wouldn't eat it today, though. Try to drop these pounds.
Smart. Scott Stapp, quote, the voice of Creed is headlining.
Oh, Jim Brewer residency. Jim's still got a residency. He must be doing very well.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
so
that's
goddamn funny.
That's his spot. But so JD and the Straight Shot, specifically JD, not only, it's one thing to flip the notebook closed. First of all, keep your hands off the lady's notebook.
Yeah.
But it's one thing.
He's a bit petulant.
He's a bit petulant is right. It's one thing to not do the interview, but he kicked the reporter out of the show altogether. This is about the music, and now you can't enjoy the music.
He's not really making any friends. I mean, he probably figures she would have given him a shitty write-up anyway.
Right, yeah, he doesn't want the negative press, so instead he's going to take a reporter and throw her out of his show. He probably won't get any negative press that way.
Right.
See, it would have been, he would risk getting a shitty write-up. Or we could add to the legend of James Dolan kicking people out of his places.
Yep.
I mean, this is coming on the heels
That's all he does.
of him kicking out a Knicks fan because he told him to sell the team, and then he said, you're banned from Madison Square Garden.
For life. Just push people.
Yeah. Now this reporter is going to a concert that James Dolan is singing at, thinking, I'll talk to James Dolan. That shouldn't be an issue, right?
Right. Why would it be? You're doing a story on the Knicks.
And
He is
now,
the CEO.
yeah. And now she gets completely thrown out of the venue.
Yeah, he's. I think it's getting to him. The criticism of the band and the mockery of the band is just getting to him.
Who's mocking this band?
Well, you know, I mean, some people on the internet.
I hope not.
And like the girl who's in the band is probably like, why the fuck is he throwing reporters out? Like, that's good for us.
Yeah, we want people to know that we're doing this.
Who's the woman? What can we look at? What's her name? We shouldn't do 2 hours on JD. I think people are getting fed up with our session.
No, dude.
3, you mean?
I got nothing but this article sent to me all day yesterday.
Yeah, I got it tweeted at me.
Yeah.
People love it.
Guitar. How come they don't put him as lyricist?
That's a good point.
Who's the gal?
It's probably just implied. Who else is going to come up with this?
With Gold?
Yeah.
Nothing to hide. They have some cool names.
I can't believe he threw
You go
a
down and
reporter
listen past
out
the
of his
memories, I
show.
think. I know. That's fucking crazy.
Like, of all the
Wow.
things to try to get people to not talk about this thing, like, he didn't like that everybody was talking about it. Remember, you went on the Michael K show and he tried to justify throwing the guy out of Madison Square Garden? He wants people, he wants to be likable. That's pretty clear.
He wants to be liked.
He wants people to love him for his music.
But he's just too. Is her name Aiden? Let me go back up
I'm
to
sure
the
it's
top three.
Aiden.
Is that her, Aiden Dolan?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She doesn't play guitar.
Plus, Aiden Dolan's probably his son.
Oh, yeah,
Sue-
Dolan, that makes perfect sense.
Try
Yep.
Sue Williams.
Is his son in the band?
Sue.
Yeah, his son's in the band.
She plays violin.
Oh, yeah. That
I
picture
don't
of
know
Sue
who this
Williams
girl
is
is. Who's
not
this
here.
hot girl?
I don't know.
She's not enlisted.
Probably requested that. She
Maybe
probably
she's-
called up Google. Hey, look, I don't mind if I'm in the photos. I don't mind if I'm in the pictures and whatnot. But please don't list me as a member of the band. I'm not officially in the band.
Erin Slaver. She's really cute.
Don't be talking about Erin.
I want to date her.
JD's already got an eye on her. You think JD would be happy if you were dating that girl?
No, especially if he heard some of these clips. People would ruin it. She and I would be out and they'd start tweeting these clips at her.
And you know what? No, people wouldn't ruin it. You know why? Because she would probably make fun of the band with you.
No, but people would send this to JD.
I would ruin it for JD. But like in private, that's what would drive him crazy, is that he would know that she and you are making fun of the band that she's in.
That's true.
You don't think she understands? She's a real musician. She knows what she's stuck into.
Yeah.
She knows the world that she's in.
How old is she?
She's cute.
See how old? I'm going to guess she's 38.
She's not that old.
I could be wrong. I'm just saying because the rest of the band.
I don't
know.
grow
I
up
don't-
together.
No, I know. I don't know why I want to know. That's my guess. And I'm a very good guesser.
Traditionally?
Yep.
I don't think it's going to say how old she is on her website.
No, but you can find it somewhere.
She's
Wikipedia?
She doesn't have a Wikipedia.
No.
What's her name?
Erin Slaver, Slaver.
She's not famous. She's the violinist for JD and the Straight
And a
Shot.
singer. She sings.
Yes, if she were famous, she wouldn't be the violinist for JD and the Straight
I
Shot.
disagree. I think that's a very prestigious place.
Rich on Long Island. What's up, Rich?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hello, Rich.
I just am able to add a little insight. I can really relate to JD about the experience of being the opening band at the Paramount.
Oh.
Now, I play in basically, 2-bit cover bands out here in Long Island. I'm a, weekend warrior type guy. It's not my day job or anything.
Oh.
And it's happened a couple of times. I've had the opportunity to play at the Paramount. I live in Huntington to play as the opening act for, on a couple of occasions that's happened. And you do it for the exposure and the bragging rights. It doesn't pay. I think in both cases the whole band got maybe $50 to do that, and it's in my experience both doing that and going to the venue. It's empty. Nobody knows about the opening act or shows up. So
Well,
it's very
is your day
very
job
prestigious.
owning the Knicks?
Yeah, not even. So yeah, it's a very prestigious gig.
No, it sounds prestigious. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that James Dolan is making money off this venture. If anything, I think he's spending money. I bet the band makes a lot more money doing this show with the money that he pays them than the venue actually pays.
This beautiful girl is married to some guy from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's a bummer
She
for
graduated.
JD.
Her website says that she
Graduated her
graduated.
website?
Nope. Just let me
Wait,
finish.
wait.
You did say she graduated her
Shit,
website.
wait, hold on. Run coming. What is it, a college site?
Is that the end of the run?
Yep.
Okay.
Quick run.
She's gorgeous.
It's a sprint.
Her website says after graduating high school as valedictorian in 2006.
Oh, she had
So you
so many
figure what?
dreams.
18 in 2006.
Yeah, that makes
was
her what?
13 years ago. So she's 31.
Yeah. She looks about
2006.
31.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
That makes sense. I believe it.
Okay.
She's played with some big names. Look at that.
She has nice toes.
She played backup
She
for
has
artists
bunions.
including Rod Stewart, Rascal Flatts, Kelly Clarkson,
Yeah.
Keith Urban, Lady Antebellum.
She's a gorgeous young lady, and she's married to some fucking handsome dude from Grey's Anatomy. You can't compete with a guy from Grey's Anatomy.
I wonder what she... what she's doing this for. It seems like that she's got a lot of
Say irons in the fire.
aspirations.
All right, good.
It's also,
not
it's
irons
also
in the
odd.
fire.
She's got a very long bio on her website. No mention of JD and the Straight Shot.
Okay, that makes sense.
She probably just. I bet you she's a guest musician on some of the.
She's probably just there for hire.
She's a hired gun.
Yeah, but he hires her for every single gig.
Yeah.
He likes
Yeah, but
having her
look at
around.
all the people that she says. Oh, I've played with these people.
No, I could see where she wouldn't mention.
No, you know what it is?
I could see where JD and the Straight Shot wouldn't come up in that conversation. I
No.
get it. Unless maybe the website just hasn't been updated.
You know what? That's a good point.
Let's see. Oh, wait. But this is great. It says, no matter her pathway, Erin is sure of one thing. Her ultimate goal is to perform and bring happiness to others through her music. Whether it be on stage at Madison Square Garden or in an intimate venue on Bleecker Street, she's certain her home will always be on the stage. So she mentions on stage at Madison Square Garden.
Sure.
She does not mention
JD and the Straight.
James Dolan.
Let's say 2013.
Well, that's copyright 2013. But that doesn't mean that's when it was written.
Yeah.
She could have updated it.
Future.
She probably has access to her own website.
Oh, yeah, here.
Oh yeah, with JD and the Straight Shot. Oh yeah, she's got those.
It says where she's performed. There it is with the Eagles.
with the Eagles. She wants the Eagles to be.
Oh yeah, performing at the Garden.
How many Eagles shows?
4 or 5?
No, more than that. Oh yeah,
1,
down to
2,
in Las Vegas.
3.
Does he
4,
own the
5.
MGM Grand or the
6.
arena or no?
No, because he doesn't own the Prudential Center.
She's got a bunch with JD, and then she has some other stuff coming up.
She probably likes the
Trace
other stuff a
Adkins
lot.
Christmas tour.
This is all old stuff. These
This
are
is
not new dates.
Past dates.
These are old.
These are.
Why do
very
they
old.
have past dates?
Just to
People
show you
don't
what
She
you
hasn't
They
updated her
don't update their
website.
website, yeah.
So these are not new ones coming up.
No, these are old dates.
Eagles are not on tour. Not like that.
Oh, this is last year then.
This is like years ago. Yeah. This is not anything.
Find her
recent.
Twitter.
What are you looking her up all over?
I
the
want to
place for?
see where they're performing. I want to see what if she's proud. She's so cute. Oh no, she's got them in the picture. I'll bet you he asked her, how come you don't have us on your website? Why are we not your
I'll put it
your
up in the-
default picture? Oh
I'll
yeah,
put
no,
it up
let
in
me.
the profile. Yeah, I'll put it up as the header on my Twitter account.
Oh, I didn't know you could. Yeah, I'll show you.
How does she only have 900 followers?
Because
she's not famous.
She's a violinist for
I
JD and
disagree.
the Straight
Well,
Shot.
exactly. Is that her husband?
Probably.
The guy's an 11.
Yeah, he's really, really
He's
good
an
looking.
11. Poor James Dolan probably has this thing for her because she's so beautiful
Of course
and
he
talented.
does.
And then this fucking her husband can literally just throw on a fucking medical hat and look good.
She doesn't even
He
tweet.
thinks he can compete with that though.
Well,
I mean, he doesn't have
uses
$1 billion.
He uses his money.
Yeah, and his smile.
In my opinion,
Very white teeth.
He sure does.
those are natural though.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they have a kid.
In my opinion, JD pays her to hang out with him.
Of course.
You know, I think that happens a lot in the music industry. You meet a guy with money, he can start a band. You pay somebody to hang out with you. This chick's not hanging out with him normally.
Boy, she's in good shape.
Yes, she is.
She's got quite a physique. Oh, there's the picture with JD. Let me see the picture of JD in the Straight Shot and the whole. Is her husband in that picture? No, it's just the band. It's a band photo.
Just a little retweet. No description.
Look at this.
Parade. What's that? Yeah, he's got a good smile.
That haircut.
God, Troy sounds so jealous.
He does.
I mean, he's rocking some Mr. Ed.
He's got some hot dogs.
Yeah, hot dog does have a very bright smile.
Well, it's the teeth are big. That's what it is.
These are really big.
Yeah.
Well, black light.
Well, that's what JD does. If he likes you, he's going to pay to make sure that you have to hang out with him. If he doesn't like you, he's throwing you out of whatever venue you're in. He's buying venues just to make sure he has full control over it.
She was here too. I don't like that we missed her.
Well, JD and the Straight Shot's been here a whole bunch of times.
I know. How come they won't do our program?
We make fun of him on a weekly
No,
basis.
we don't.
We constantly making fun of him.
We're joking with them.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in on the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. How great would it be to just get her on the show and get her to make fun of the band?
Oh, yeah.
Because you know she sees it.
Go back. Let me see the dinner. See, that's a candid shot with JD and the Straight Shots.
No, that's not. That's her husband.
Back to the left. There we go.
Oh, he's still got the same smile.
Is that them?
Yeah, that's JD and the Straight
Hudson
Shot.
River. Yeah, look at that. Where is she sitting? There she is.
Right there.
On the end. That's a fun picture.
You're just looking at pictures on the radio.
I'm enjoying it. Describing them for the people. They're loving it.
I noticed on their promo shot when they were promoting their Eagles tour.
Yeah.
She was right next to him.
She's right behind
Who do you
him,
think?
too.
Who do you think posed the photo?
Yeah, it was probably JD.
Probably JD.
Yeah.
By the way, he's hosting. Why is he holding a coffee cup in the press photo?
Because he's pointing at it. He's saying, "I like coffee."
He wants to be wacky.
Yeah.
The Cosmopolitan. He's just touching the top of the cup.
But you know he can't drink coffee. You know why? It would ruin his teeth.
He probably drinks it with a straw. Bring my straw.
He does. Like a lady who doesn't want to mess up her lipstick.
Yeah. By the way, those fake teeth usually give people weird
breath.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't know if with him they do, but they give you like a weird plaque.
Oh no.
What a handsome.
Her husband's very handsome, but
it's depressing how good looking he is.
Doesn't have the same money that JD has.
You know, that's you don't need it.
Wow.
So there's JD. It looks like he's and he made her. Okay, this is very telling.
No.
We're looking at a photo. This is from November of 2017 now. This is how far back we're scrolling. This is clearly a Halloween party, right?
What a
2 days
great
after
smile.
Halloween. They're dressed as Austin Powers, and what was Elizabeth Hurley's name? in
Oh, is
Austin
that who they're
Powers?
dressed as?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Because she's dressed as Elizabeth Hurley. Now, this is very important because, number one, James Dolan somehow pulls off the Austin Powers costume without the Austin Powers fake teeth. Every Austin Powers costume comes with Austin Powers
those
fake
are fake.
teeth.
Those are fake.
Those are his fake teeth.
They're not his teeth.
Those are his teeth.
No.
It's the same smile.
Hey, baby. what about your shit?
But here's the point. Those are romantic love interests in the movie. They have a relationship together.
Yeah.
He had her dress in his and her costumes.
They went to the party together.
Yeah. I'm sure she was paid handsomely to attend the party.
I mean, let's be honest. She's one of the main reasons why we care about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That she's one of the main reasons he keeps the band alive.
Of course.
Think he's in love with her on some level?
If she quit the band, he would disassemble the band.
I don't know. He'd probably find some other 10.
No, it's not just a hot girl for him. I think he's in love with her. Let's take a survey. Troy, do you think he's in love?
I do.
I don't,
Well, because
it's one of those artist things too.
When you're working that close with
Yes.
somebody and you're singing together, it's like a actor and actress working together.
Right.
True.
You create a bond and you're harmonizing with each other.
But do you think she's in love with him?
I think she probably likes where her money's coming from, that helps.
That's not the same thing.
He's
I'm
probably
not-
nice to her.
I'm not in
Probably
love
nice to
with.
her.
I'm not in love with Andrew Moss. That's where my money's coming from.
But you'll be friendly if he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
let's take a picture together."
I didn't say is she friendly with.
If
JD.
Andrew pointed at his zipper and said, "This isn't going to drain itself," you'd be offering to help.
But that's not love. That's lust.
That's good.
That's different.
But if Andrew, if he wanted pictures with you,
But that's not what I
wouldn't
asked.
Wouldn't you be smiling in the picture?
You bet he would.
That's not what I asked.
You bet he would.
I'm not blaming her for smiling in the picture. You think JD's in love with her? Yes?
Absolutely.
Do you think she's in love with JD?
I do not.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't think it's mutual?
No, but I think she's a smart woman that
Yes.
needs a paycheck and she
Yes.
knows where her bread's buttered.
Wow, look at them in Paris, but they've been all over.
Of course, and they've made no money. The band has not made a goddamn cent.
No, the band's made money. I don't think
Yes,
that's
I'm sorry. The entity JD and the Straight Shot has made no money.
Right.
The band in JD and the Straight Shot, the Straight Shot has done well.
Bye, bye, bye. Now fucking Glide is in my head.
Great song. How could it not be?
Is it? Have you ever had just went and watched that video?
Yeah, like on my own time.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Does it ever get stuck in your head?
All the time.
Which one the most?
Ballyhoo.
Step right up.
It only costs a dime.
Jim and I were literally at the Lady Gaga Sirius XM concert and we saw James Dolan walk in and we both started singing Ballyhoo.
Yeah,
Step right up.
It only costs a dime. We go down this road way too much, but we can't stop once
Well,
we're
he
on it.
brings us there.
He does. He rolls his sleeves up. It's a ballyhoo.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, Troy. You're a musician.
Yes.
Would you be excited? How long do you think you could put up being in somebody's band where you're paid well and you get to travel everywhere and play every arena, but that's who you have to be, right? Like you have to be, you're not doing your own thing. Like, it's not artistically fulfilling. It's just, I do get to play music, which is what I wanted to do.
Sure.
I get to do fun shit. I get paid well.
Yeah, I mean, I think by the time you have a kid, you know
right.
what I mean?
Your husband's making money.
Your husband's making money, but you want to make, you're talented. You've put in the time and work, you know, to be an accomplished musician.
She's the valedictorian. She's goal-oriented.
And she's obviously really fucking smart.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of waiting till the next really good gig comes along.
Yep.
And then here's the problem.
I wanted to be valedictorian.
How'd you do?
Poorly.
Where did you rank in your graduating class?
I didn't graduate.
So bottom?
Yep.
You wanted to be in like the 100 range and you got it 0?
Yeah, I couldn't get the Vala or the Torian.
But you were a champion.
I was.
With the dick.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you wait for the next thing to come around. But unfortunately for her, what's going to come around that's a better gig? Like, what are you going to... It's real money. JD wants to keep touring because he likes playing and because he's kind of in love with this chick, I think. So they're going to keep coming up with gigs. The money's going to keep coming in. The travel's going to keep coming. Like, it's just going to keep going. So what's a better gig?
I think maybe this is probably decent exposure for her.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause
wow.
she's in front of the Eagles. So
Yeah, that's true.
It might be like, hey, we're looking for a violinist. Hey, this girl's amazing. She can sing.
You're just hoping.
You're hoping that it's like somebody's going to discover
It'll
you.
be parlayed into something else.
Yeah.
What do you think? They got 2 tour buses, one for him and her, and one for the rest of the band.
Yeah, I think that. Sorry, rest of the band, we're all full here. Aaron, come aboard.
Yeah.
I got to talk to you. Aaron and me are gonna write.
She's so cute.
She is.
I mean, of course. Of course.
Kid's cute.
JD's son has to ride in the band with the rest of the bus. I mean,
Wait, what was that?
Did you hear, Travis?
I did. You sound so stupid.
Was that crazy or
He
what?
has to ride in the band with the rest. You private dust.
Yeah, might as well put a fresh paint a coat on that, huh?
No, it's coat of paint.
Oh.
Okay. Moving along.
Screwed that one up. Yeah, I bet that he probably has her right with him. Don't you think?
The two of them together?
Yeah.
Like, what would you do? Like, if I looked at you and said, you know, you are so beautiful, and her lyrics he never takes. He's like, no, like, nothing rhymes with giant teeth. I can't rhyme fence posts.
Yeah. So that's the update on JD and the Straight Shot.
Yep.
James Dolan at the gig that we were all going to go to. He threw a reporter out of his gig.
Yep.
Not a nice way to do it.
She's married to a guy in Grey's Anatomy, Chris Carmack.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer for everybody involved. Did you see Travis's neighbor is running around shitting in everybody's yard?
I did see that right in front of the car. And the funniest part is that this guy shits in front of the car, and twice the people have picked it up thinking it was dog shit. They're picking up some guy's shit.
So I swear, I thought this was an update. I thought this was an update story because I feel like we just keep hearing stories about serial poopers, quote unquote.
People who can't stop shitting outdoors.
They love shitting in public places and not even in the woods, in the street. But this is a new serial pooper.
Yep.
This is happening in Staten Island. Travis, do you know, did it say where this was? I know you live in Staten Island.
I do.
Are you worried about this guy?
Yeah, because it's not me.
Have you?
Would you want him to lean up against that fucking pole outside your house accidentally?
Oh, just get stung by wasps?
Why don't you take any visits of the videos of the Hornets?
You know, I don't know if they're still there. I think they may have left after the big heat wave.
Hornet season is ending.
Yeah.
Because it's so hot.
Yeah.
What?
The Hornets, they go like, it's hot.
It's hot.
They don't leave.
Yes.
Of course they do. What do you think? They just stay there all year?
Yes. They don't leave in the heat.
Yes, they do. It's
the
too hot.
summer. Bees like the fucking
Bees and
heat.
wasps
Bees like the
are
spring.
not the same.
What?
They like the spring.
They don't leave in the summer. Hornets don't leave in the summer.
Okay.
You're wrong.
First of all, Troy spelled it horns.
I spelled it horny earlier.
They don't leave because it's warm out.
I have not seen them in about 2 weeks.
They probably exterminated them.
I don't. Who?
Somebody who the kid might have got stung, or somebody called the
You're just
city.
making up a scenario.
But he's saying who, and I can't answer that. But somebody got rid of them. They didn't just leave.
Why wouldn't they leave?
Why would they? They have a giant nest. That's not how bees work. They don't just get bored and go, let's get out of here.
Not bees.
Let's move to, or hornets. They don't go to another fucking...
Ooh, Travis, you might be fucked.
What?
Typically, the summer is the time when yellow jackets thrive.
It's not yellow jackets.
Yes, it is. Hornets are yellow jackets.
He did. Troy looked up horns.
They're in the wasp family.
He didn't look up bees. He
What do you
looked
think
up
they're that much different? Like
horns.
fucking bees love the summer, but hornets prefer the summer at the Cape.
Well, I know bees provide a service, and hornets just are around to fuck with you.
That's true.
They don't do anything?
Don't they do pollinate flowers or no?
That's bees.
Yeah,
No, but
bees.
do
bees!
They just literally... Yeah, they cook food outside. They love the summer.
It says they
Travis
thrive.
thought they left for the summer.
They thrive on muggy days in the summer,
I
Travis.
haven't seen them in 2 weeks.
You know why you haven't seen them in 2 weeks?
Somebody exterminated them.
No, I think it's because you haven't been around your house. You've been out all around the island shitting on everybody's front stoops. Travis runs around and he goes, "It's time to take a poop on the stoop." And he just goes to a neighbor's house.
Time for another stoop poop.
Yeah.
Would you have punched that pole?
Would I punch the pole?
Yeah.
The wasp pole?
Yeah.
No.
First of all, punching...
I walk across the street like a little baby.
Punching a pole without a wasp nest is a stupid thing
Yeah,
to
but
do.
imagine
with
they're all buzzing around, you hit it, then walked away.
You get stung.
I saw a video of a guy on a bike, and he was filming with his iPhone, and hornets were following him. And he's like, I can't. He's like, if I slow down, they catch up to me. And he's filming, and you could see them buzzing around. Like I guess he had driven by a swarm or a nest, and they followed him on his bike for miles.
Well, they don't fuck around. They got nothing else to do. They don't have to
Nothing
pollinate
going on.
anything. Why not?
They're just assholes.
Is it true that you sometimes will tell your wife, "Hey, honey, I have to go drop a stoop,"
Yep.
and she knows what that means?
It's code.
It means you go have to shit in public.
But now I'm on video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
So this guy in Staten Island, they caught him on video
It's so deliberate.
shitting outside of a person's house. And you're right, Jim. I would never have admitted this. But the lady that they talked to that lives outside, that lives in the house,
She ate it.
no. Why would she do that?
She thought someone left her a little cake.
It looked like a baby Ruth.
she thought it was like a Clark bar pie.
There was a Snickers on the ground. No, she picked it up twice because she thought it was dog feces.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, it was just some dude that shit.
Yeah.
So she picked up human shit.
I just don't understand why you'd want to shit outdoors. There's some weird compulsion.
It's got to be some kind of crazy marking your territory thing.
Yeah. Or he likes her, or he knows her and hates her, or hates the husband or something. Like he's angry and he's
I want
shitting.
to punish you.
Yeah,
Or
'cause
it's just
a
a good-
family.
What's that?
Because it's a family.
Yeah.
It's
or
a family
a
of
quiet place
shitters?
to shit. Maybe it's a place outside that he likes to shit outdoors, and this is a safe place.
Sounds
It's
like
the middle
his
of the
memoir.
street.
That is just fun to shit in weird places.
No, but not the same weird.
Yeah, not the
place.
same.
Just going in
place.
front of the same person's house?
You know.
That's that's weird behavior.
Do you think that's funny?
Paper?
Yeah.
No, he he zips right up and walks away.
What if you don't have any friends with you?
It's like you just kind of do things just for the fun of it.
For your own laugh, for your own
maybe walking down the
amusement.
street, like, I have to shit. I'm gonna shit right here by this car.
Yeah,
But they do it every time?
It's gross.
I guess it means he's regular. Maybe he's on his way home from work. He always has to move his bowels at a certain time. Happens to be when he's out in front of that person's house every time, and he moves his bowels.
He knows it's going to get cleaned up.
Now, yeah, exactly. The lady picks it up for him every time, so why not? Now, it's an impressive thing because when you watch the video, he doesn't wipe. So the question is he regular enough that it's just, perfect and clean, or does he walk around with stinky trousers?
He probably just wipes when he gets home.
This is being done on purpose.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely being done on purpose.
No, I mean like he's doing it here on purpose.
It looks like
because
he's doing
when he's
it-
done,
Yeah.
he turns around and he looks to make sure that it's like there.
Oh, he wants to. So it looks like he's doo-dooing right in front of the woman's car.
He wants to see the size of the
A
log.
little bit comes out,
Turns
There we
around,
are. Take a little peek.
and checks it
looks
out,
at it.
He's proud of it.
buckles his pants up. His project has been left behind.
He's not in the best shape.
No.
No.
Big
He's got a
dumpy
little bit of
Staten Island idiot shitting in front of your house.
Which is worse news. When
I
you
mean-
realize that he's an out of shape, he's a bit of an out of shape oaf.
He's really taking his time.
Yeah, he's
buckling
not
his-
looking to leave anytime soon.
But
maybe he's
looking
just
at
a
his
drunk
shit.
from like a bar around there or something.
then he keeps going to the same house.
Maybe it's on his walk home. He's got his bag.
But he
Right.
keeps. But
Take a look at that duty again.
Is that what he's doing right there? Oh, he's shitting. That's another shit that he's taking.
What a fucking creep.
Imagine if you always shit in front of the same house and then you find out there's a security camera. Oh, man.
Right outside.
He's looking at it
And
again.
he can't stop looking at his shit.
But he backs away from it before he looks
Yeah,
at it,
but
just in
let me
case somebody
enjoy.
walks by and sees him buckling his pants. He goes, "Oh no, that shit was there when I got here."
What time is this that he can still see the shit though?
Probably dusk.
He's walking
Yeah,
like
they got
he's
street lights.
He's walking like he's drunk. You know what? You might be right. Go back. He's walking like he's fucking loaded.
Maybe he gets drunk and then he gets angry at whoever lives there and he goes and he shits in front of people's houses.
Or this is just a quiet place, like the lights aren't as bright right there on the way home and he has to shit.
Dude, if
watch
you-
him walk.
If you're going to put security cameras in front of your house, get nice ones so you can actually see people's faces.
He looks like he's a little bit of a stumbler.
Because it's still a mystery as to who the Staten Island shitter is, right?
They'll catch him.
Oh, yeah, they got him now. He's probably seen this. His buddies all think it looks like him. They're sending it to him.
Yeah.
What a panic you'd be in if you're sitting there and you're just reading the paper and then all of a sudden you saw pictures of yourself shitting in front of the house that
Oh,
you keep
my
shitting in
God.
front of. Oh, no. Number one, I could get in a lot of trouble. Number two, I can't shit in front of that house anymore.
I love the fact that the cops told him there's not much they could do. This guy's shitting in the street. What do you want us to do? Launch an investigation?
You can't arrest a guy for shitting in the street?
You might be able to, but I mean, how much police energy is it worth? There's a guy who took 2 shits. Cares?
I think it was 3.
Was it 3?
I think it was 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there have been 3 shits total.
So I think it was only 2.
Oh, okay. Well, then
first-
it's not a pattern yet.
First was July 13th around 1:30 a.m.
Uh-huh.
4 days later,
Okay.
around 12:30 a.m.
Okay, so this bar thing is starting to, this drunk thing, if he's doing it in the middle of the night, I think he's doing it on purpose in front of this person's house, but I also think he's intoxicated.
He may do it somewhere else too, yes.
Yeah, do you think he's just finding his enemies' houses?
Yeah, I'm shitting. Or perceived enemies.
Like Steve Buscemi? Maybe he's like Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison, except the list that he's making is the list of people's houses he's going to shit in front of. And it's all people who called the shit poop.
Is our guest here?
She just got here.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a break, Ski.
Yep. And if you want to see me, come see me. Go to my website. I got a bunch of dates coming up. Also back at the Stress Factory, a shitload of stuff. Denver, we have this.
Shitload? Was that a little tie-in?
It was.
Oh, that was great.
I got, and the new chip is up, and I'm putting up a new animation probably sometime today, which I will tweet and pin.
Sounds good. Check out the Twitter account to see it. We'll be right back.
We'll be back with more Jim.
A song, you go like, I'm not loving this because I don't like that part of it. I don't like that. Then it kicks in.
You realize
Yeah.
it's good. Welcome, Anya.
Hi, you guys.
How are you?
You guys look great.
I
You look
feel
great.
fat, but thank you.
I miss you. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Thanks
I'm a
for
big fan.
Thanks for
I
being
didn't
here.
shave. I'm sorry.
I like it. I'm into it.
It looks rugged and old manish.
Yeah, I like that too.
I mean,
I
it's
just dated
probably-
an older gentleman. It was I don't like younger, but
How
I
old was
dated
he?
much older.
How old?
60.
Really?
But he was like a young 60. Like
Yeah,
I've
right.
told a few people about him, and they're like, he's 60. Like they've known who he is.
I thought he was like 57.
Yeah,
He's
no,
60.
he seems like 50.
You still dating him?
No, it ended after 2 months. It really took me by surprise.
Why did it end? Did it have prostate issues?
He's dead now.
Maybe.
Did you knock his charm bracelet over? What happened? I dropped my change in his bedpan. No, what? How come? What happened with you and the old fella?
Is it sexy when he's on top of you and there's like a life alert hanging hanging down over him?
Have you ever dated somebody where it's so, the pros outweigh the cons? So
They're all
much?
pros.
But they outweigh the cons so much that you're like, I could settle. And,
Yeah.
And you catch yourself settling.
Right, and you don't realize the cons are like the cons. Like these are the things that I always say never, never.
Yes.
But there's so many great pros. It isn't that big of a deal.
He's fun. He's rich. He's got ambition. He makes cool stuff. He's creative. He's got a cute look, got a cute style.
And he's 60, so he's not going to be that difficult to keep track of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you call him daddy?
Never a god.
Oh, you don't like that?
No, I mean,
Not when they
if
could
it was
be
a
your
younger,
daddy.
If it was a younger guy, yes, exactly.
Oh, did you call him Pop Pop?
He put me on his knee.
Yeah. So what was it? Was it just that the
first time you had
cons-
see, I got.
Did the cons just start to catch up, and you went, "Oh no! Now it's been 2 months. The pros are starting to lose their luster, and the cons are starting to shine through."
What was a con?
There was one main con, which was okay. So I've never dated a Jewish guy, and I think this is equality.
Oh, the whole thing with Christ. Yeah.
I'm a Russian Jew, I think, because my mom is. It's all through the matrilineal line, right? But
Supposed
we don't
to be, yeah.
practice. But
Right.
anyway, I felt this kinship with him. He's Jewish. Anyway, we'd be making out, and he'd do this very Woody Allen-y thing where, like, mid make out, he'd just be like, "Okay, hold on, I feel like this is going too fast." And I was like, okay.
Ew. Were you kissing?
Yeah, like if it was getting into,
Did it ever take you out of the moment?
you think?
Wait, how many? Wait a minute. You had sex with him, right?
Yes, eventually we did. And then he would continue doing this thing where he would stop and be like, I'm super into you. I'm falling in love with you. And, I'm your boyfriend, you're my girlfriend. But, I'm still very ambivalent about how serious this should be. And I was like,
Nah, that's weird. What was it anything weird that got him off? Like, could he only get an erection if you fished into his pocket and pulled out like a piece of candy?
I'll tell you what, I was looking for stuff like that because we were having some issues.
Couldn't keep a rod, huh?
Yeah. And I was like,
During intercourse.
yeah. And the thing that started making me angry was he wouldn't acknowledge it.
Oh, no. What would he do?
Just wouldn't acknowledge it.
He would just keep pumping away while it was
Yeah,
soft?
yeah.
That's like where the head stays
No,
in
it was so
and the
strange.
shaft accordions against the outside of the vagina.
I'm like, you realize
Jim, you seem pretty well versed.
nothing's
Oh, please.
happening here. There's no penetration happening. Or just like, I would love it if he just had said like, hey, I realize like something,
Well, so what do you do? Try to make eye contact and like with eyes that I know that.
I just do a big eye roll.
So you have to acknowledge it. Like, it's happened to me. So when I look down, I'll be like, for Pete's sake, the little fella's taking a break.
Yes, I appreciate that. It's like we're all human. We have
Right.
our on days and our off days. Like it's just like if you went down on a woman and she's like on her second day of her cycle, you'd be annoyed. Like, oh, you could have told me.
Give me the heads up on
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. I'd say that to her as I was putting her clothes back on and showing her the front door.
That's how I felt. I was just kind of like, literally, you're not.
So wait, he would
hard at
try
all.
to stick it in and then it wouldn't go in. Was he just keep rubbing the head?
Or we'd be fooling around and like it would just be not
could-
active.
Clearly, did he ever justify it?
No.
Did you turn
boy.
him on? Like, was it that maybe he liked you, but he has that whole lust and love thing?
I did say like, are you into this? And he was like, yes, I'm so into you. And I was like, okay. Cause, and I was like, what are you into porn wise? And he's like, I don't know you well enough to tell you that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there's ew, I don't know you. I would have
was
fucking
2
told you
months
before you
in.
came over.
Yes.
Here's what I'm thinking, and this happens, I think, sometimes. Like, you date somebody who's older, right? And then you go, yeah, but they act young.
Yes.
And you don't realize that means they're immature and stunted.
Exactly.
And you get to this place where you're like, this person couldn't hang out with other people his age because they'd be like, what? He's like developmentally disabled. What's wrong with this person?
I should have talked to you.
Well, you had
before.
sex
I
with
would
him,
have
right?
told you.
Yes.
So what was there anything talking dirty? Like, what finally got his dick hard?
I finally, this one night, I was like, come on, you gotta watch porn. He's like, no, I don't want to. And I was like, you don't know me well enough. We know everything. We've been like FaceTiming 3 hours a day. We talk all the time. We know each other pretty well. And also, I don't judge that like at all. Everybody watches porn.
Like, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm like, no judgment zone. Go for it. And he's like, and then he finally told me a little thing. It was nothing big. And then I sort of started role playing and bing.
Hold on, the fetish.
Oh, boy.
And then I was
what
like,
was the fetish? I don't know the guy. We don't know.
It was nothing exciting. It was just like, I can't even honestly remember, like submissive or something.
He's a submissive?
No, like he liked that.
To be submissive or for you to be
For
submissive?
me, I guess. And
Oh,
I was like,
all right, yeah.
okay, great. Let's
But
do
he's
that.
very insecure about it.
Yeah, like very judgmental. And then, but it was great, sort of, that night. There was still technical.
Did he put a
difficulties.
rope around your bosoms? A lot of guys like to tie up tits.
You have many levels.
They tie up tits.
I all of a sudden was like, do I have that kind of equipment? Can I?
Well, how would you feel if you were like, just tell me what you're into? He's like, okay, sometimes I do like a little submission. You're like, okay. And he's like, I like to tie up the titties. Wait.
I like to tie a girl up.
I like
and have
knots.
a little, like you're a naughty girl and I'm your teacher. Okay. And then I like to hold your mouth open with a speculum and shit in it.
Wow.
It got weird.
Yeah. You know Dennis Rader?
I can't recover from that.
So he still couldn't get a rod.
He lost it.
Yeah, and then I started thinking maybe it is an age thing.
Does he take Cialis or Viagra? What the fuck?
I was about to suggest that, but then we broke up because of the ambivalence thing. And every date he would be more into me than any guy I've ever dated on the outside, on paper, like out in public, all over me, almost too all over me. Like he would lean over and like do this like deep tongue. Then I was like, easy, like we're in a bistro in the West Village.
How could you want to shove your tongue down my throat here if you can't even maintain an erection? This can't be true.
Confusing. It was confusing. I think he was a little bit of a nerd and was like, didn't realize what he was doing. Like I kind of had to teach him a little.
Sure.
And then
he's a late bloomer. He just kind of started like noticing girls at 54.
I don't know, man. I just think some people are kind of nerds.
Did you have kids? Ever married?
No. Married, yes. No kids.
Probably gay.
You think he's gay?
Maybe, yeah.
He told me that a girlfriend had asked him if he was gay.
Oh boy.
But I was like, he's a little femme, but like I don't think he's gay.
That's probably the porn he watches that he couldn't. So he could have. What would sound like a real guy thing to say to a girl? I like dominant.
I think he's really repressed about his desires and
because it's dudes.
And maybe he does I think he liked a different type of girl. He was always talking about this one girl that was his friend who was like an addict. And I'm like, oh, you need to rescue somebody. He was always like, I love her. She's got a lot of problems and I want to give her money. And she's one of my best friends. I'm like, you're in love with her.
Maybe he's a pay pig.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he gets off on just helping people and giving them money. And yeah, we had a dominatrix in here once that said she had a client that all he did, they never even had sex. All he did was give her money. Like if it were raining outside, she would make him drive to an ATM, get out of the car in the rain, run across the street, take the max out of his account and just hand it to her. And that would be it. That's what got him off.
That was his
such
kink.
a strange thing.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
It's power and it's
and she's
forbidden.
disinterested in you and ignores you.
Yeah. I think that might have been his thing. I don't know. Whatever it was, we didn't work out, and I wish I would have listened to my body. How'd I end it? We just every date started to get weird, and he stopped having sex with me, and I was like, what's going on?
How does that stop when it I don't even feel like it's 2 months.
It was only 2 months, and I was like, we've only had sex like 5 times in 2 months, and then it's petering. I know what it was. We had this Sunday afternoon. He's a very busy guy, works like every day, like you guys, kind of a workaholic, but he's into his job, and I was into his stuff. And then
what type of thing does he do?
He likes to
put a shoelace through a keyhole.
So he finally has a day off. He gets into LaGuardia. He's like, I want to see you right away for lunch. We go to lunch, and I say, I got to meet Nikki Glazer for dinner like 7. So we have from 2 to 7 to hang. He's like, great. At 4:30, we're walking around West Elm or something, looking at furniture stuff. Yeah, and I go, I wish you could like make out with me on this couch. And he goes, I'll make out with you at my house. And I go, great. So we go back to his house. He throws me on the bed. We make out, and it's getting to the point where it's getting very heated.
Oh yeah.
To the point where you're like, oh, we're definitely gonna have sex.
Right.
It's past the point of makeout.
Right. And we got no place to be.
Yeah, and and I'm like, I'm 99% sure we're going to have sex. And then he goes, okay, you better go. I got to go to work. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I was like, I thought for sure he was joking. And I finally understand blue balls now. It wasn't that I like needed to get off. I felt like duped or something. Like,
right.
You're fucking with me.
He wasn't fucking with
me. He wasn't though. Yeah.
No. He wants to want to fuck you. Like he wants to want that,
Yeah.
and he convinces himself, okay. And then he gets into his head and he knows his dick isn't going to work because it's not what he really wants. But it's nothing personal against you. You're beautiful and he really likes you. But it's just he can't get that desire up. But it's something to do with probably a person. It's probably either he wants something that you don't have, which might be a dick.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
a kink that you can't provide or to rescue.
You nailed it.
Like you said.
There's something like I think I needed. You're right. The rescuing thing, or I need a penis. So let's figure that one out. How do we
I
get
kiss
it?
you and be like, yeah, this is great. And then go, all right, I'm done. I've done it.
I hope for his sake that he finds some dude that needs rescuing, and then he can just be buddies with you like he wants to be. Like
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure he
think-
really likes you as a person.
We were great buddies, and I
Right.
think we will be again. And I remember when I was crying over the breakup because our final conversation was I cooked him dinner, and then I accidentally burnt the salmon. I made some miso glazed salmon. It burned in the broiler, and he was like, "It looks delicious." I'm like, "It looks like shit. Come on, it's like black." And he goes, "No, it's great." And we ate it, and we had this nice night, and then we crawled into my bed, and he promptly went to sleep. And I was like, "Come on, are we really?" You're not going to, again, like Sunday, that was Sunday that he sent me home because he had to work. And then Monday I cooked him dinner and he was like, I just don't want to, I'm not emotionally there yet with you. And I'm like, you just
not about
said
emotions.
you loved me
No.
last night. And come on. And I'm like, it's not like I need, he's like, you're really making this about the sex. I'm like, it's not. It's that there's some intimacy thing.
Did he have a
with us.
small dick?
Anyway, so
Yes, he's probably insecure. He's a little tiny dick. You know what I mean?
I just want to stress that if he is listening, I've really enjoyed his presence.
He's a wonderful man.
wonderful person.
Yeah, but he had a little
was.
dick and it didn't work as well. And he's insecure about it. He has some weird,
Plus,
sometimes,
he might want to put it someplace else.
sometimes you like somebody as a man. Sometimes you like a beautiful woman, but you don't want to fuck her. And it's nothing to do with her. It's just, something is off and you feel weird about that as a guy and you try to force yourself to want it.
It's possible to
I
just
felt the
have
same
that
way.
like infatuation and then realize like, oh, this is like a personality thing. This isn't
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah, this is a crush.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we our minds meld, but our bodies are like, like I remember I wish I could tell you guys this off the air, but
Go ahead.
Yeah,
We're
what
talking
happened?
just
now.
my
Yeah.
body, has your body ever just like physically recoiled?
Yes, every time I walk by a mirror.
It just wasn't working as
It
much as I
recoiled.
was.
Well, your
You're
body
saying.
recoiled?
I
Why?
just couldn't-
Why did it recoil?
I like couldn't.
There's a gag.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit of a.
What were you doing when it happened?
You were
You're going down on him. She
You were-
didn't like the way his balls smelled.
She was disgusted.
Was that it?
A great person, a really good.
Sure. So what happened? What made you recoil?
Chemically.
It was totally involuntary, and I actually enjoy giving
Blowjobs,
blowjobs
yeah.
when I love someone, and I felt like I was falling for this person, and then
And he knew. He was like, there's no way you could be gagging on that. So he
Not
must
at
be
all.
recoiling.
I know. I
Yeah.
mean, it got like it worked eventually. But
So wait, you were going down on it. There's probably way too much hair for 2020, and it's salt and pepper colored.
He's old school.
Yeah, he's an old school guy. He's like blowing somebody in an Edsel,
My
fucking
butt-
1954. So wait, what happened? What made you
Just
recoil? Was it a
just that-
smell?
I don't even know. I think it was, maybe. There in the moment, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I gagging? There's no.
It was your body telling your brain you're not in the right space, right? You
Yeah.
shouldn't be here.
Was it when your nose touched his balls?
No, that's the weirdest thing is that it wasn't even like I can't put my finger on it. I think maybe it's pheromones or something
Yeah.
I can't quite name. Maybe
So
it was
you-
the taste.
Oh, it didn't. Was it sweaty? It was a long day at the office.
No, like the actual matter that comes out.
Oh, after he. Oh, he
You're such a
actually
classy
finished.
lady.
Yeah. Okay. After,
I'm really trying to be dignified.
No,
Yes.
you are.
After
the
he,
matter.
I do think
we
he
call
has
it
a
man
serious
matter on the show.
subscription. I
Yeah.
just don't want him to hear that.
Right.
but-
When
Oh,
is-
so the cum didn't taste. It tasted. It was like
Jim.
a little curdled.
When his Man Matter was released,
Man
we'll say
Matter,
that. We'll keep
okay.
it classy. When his Man Matter
But you know
was
when
released.
you love somebody, like really love them, it doesn't matter. You're just like, yeah.
But this mattered.
Yeah.
But there wasn't the lust. That's
and
all.
I thought that I loved him, like intellectually. And when we broke up the final day, I was like, look, I'm into this. You seem to be super into me. I've never had anyone court me like this, like whining me and dining me. And you tell me you love me and you're my boyfriend. And you've introduced me to all of your friends, like stuff other guys I've dated have never done. And yet, every other date, you say you're ambivalent or you don't want to sleep with me. So look, I'm in.
Right.
And he kept saying, like, I feel like we have to have the rest of our lives figured out. I'm like, I don't know if I'll be with you next month, but I'm into it today.
And no man thinks that way when it comes to sex. No man thinks, well, we're not close enough. Bullshit.
He's 60.
What was that then?
How much time does he have to figure out? He's got to figure out the next
month.
Yeah.
I think because I said, I don't sleep with guys that aren't my boyfriend. I said that in like week 4.
Mhm.
And he was like, okay. And that kind of freaked him out. He's like, so then we can't sleep together unless, I really know for sure. This guy had just gotten out of a very long marriage. So I think he was thinking marriage.
And you're younger?
Yeah. And he was like, you're too young for what I was looking for. I'm like, thank you.
That's probably what it is too. Like she's younger and hot and intimidating, and like, to him, he's probably like, oh, I'm not going to fuck her right. Like, and all that. And then he's kind of self-fulfilling.
Yeah. And then he did not.
Yeah, no, he did a very
He
poor
was
job.
correct.
And then he was out of nowhere. He goes, well, I'm just not ready for a relationship then. And I was like, all right.
Wait, so he ended up breaking up with you?
Well, I said, look, I'm in, and you keep being ambivalent and saying you want more time, but like, we're not working.
So you let him to the water and he drank.
Yes.
When was this?
That was, I would say, like 3 months ago.
Oh, you haven't talked to him since?
Maybe 2 months ago we broke up. Yeah. We met once, and that was great.
Where'd you
All
meet?
my friends, all my girlfriends were like, you should not meet him. What are you doing? I reached out to him because I was like, maybe I was too pushy, and I like pushed him too much because I was like, I just kept thinking about how our last conversation, he said, just give me a few more weeks. I'm just emotionally all in my head. And then I thought, I'll just reach out to him and say, look, if you really needed more time, I enjoyed you. I loved what we had. And if you want more time to date me, I'll be patient. You don't have to be we don't have to like make this a big commitment,
Right.
And then he goes, let's meet. We met. And do you ever have that perspective where you see somebody and you're like, that's who I loved?
Yep.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
I saw him from afar, and I was like, ooh.
I've been in
You didn't
relation.
feel the same.
Didn't feel the same. He wore these shoes that I told him on one date. I was like, I love your style. I hate those shoes, though.
What was wrong with them?
They were like women's running shoes, like mesh.
no.
They were.
You didn't like his track mesh shoes?
He's like 60. He's
I
probably
like
thought
mesh
they were.
shoes on a guy,
He
but
probably
not,
thought they were cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
he uses them to run away from sex.
but he wore them, and I remember on that date where I was like, hate those shoes, but
That was
love
his
everything
rebellion.
else.
Yeah.
We were joking around, and he goes, you'll never see these shoes again. And I go, really? And he goes, nah, never again. And he didn't mind that I brought that up. But on this date, or when
This
we
meeting.
reunited, he wore the shoes. And I was like, ooh, this is not good.
That was
Yeah.
his way of saying, hey, I control what's on my feet
Yes.
now. I have the power back.
But your feeling changed. So you didn't start getting jealous?
Of
I'm just thinking like you'd be out on a Friday and go like right now he's probably trying to mush his penis into some other woman.
I did have moments like that the first 2 weeks. I cried so much.
Really?
And it was very odd because he was, I don't know if I wouldn't say sociopathic. He's very charming, and it's part of his job to be super interested in people. He's like you guys. Like
He's
you
Bill
guys are
Clinton,
good at
isn't he?
drawing people out.
There's Clinton.
Yeah.
I love you.
But so I was charmed
Although, according
by
to
him.
the Epstein reports, Bill Clinton may not have such a problem with younger women.
No.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
No, it's not an issue.
Do you know what it is? I'm sure he's a good egg, but we've all done it. Every man has done it where you're just, you don't want the sex with a person as much as you think you're supposed to, and you try to force it. That's all it is. And it's
I know,
nothing
and
personal.
I wish it wasn't. It wasn't.
It is weird when you have that moment, though, that the feelings have just completely changed. And you don't realize it until, like, you see the person, you're like, I don't have any feelings for you at all. I don't know how this happened.
It's weird. I remember his eyes looked like black, like he hated me. There was this weird thing, like he was just like, oh, because every time we showed up on a date, he'd be like, hi, I'm so excited to see you. He'd like spin me around. He'd be like thrilled to be with me, touching me all the time. I was just like, this is crazy. I usually date these aloof, kind of like sullen musician guys that are like, it's all about me and my career. Yeah. This guy was just like, I can't believe I'm with you. You're like this cute blonde girl, and which kind of bothered me. That he was just like, you're like this heteronormative blonde girl. I can't believe I'm with you. And I'm like, first of all, that's nice, but like I'm not. I'm like the quirky blonde girl. He's like, no, you're the leading lady. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm
Make
weird.
you feel kind of basic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, our last meeting, I remember he goes, so I wanted to talk to you about your email. you said if I needed more time, you would give it to me, and I don't actually want to date you. I'm like, okay. So glad we met.
Yeah, I don't either. I thought that we knew that's why we weren't hanging out.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to tell me I was too hard on myself.
He probably thought you were just away pining for him somewhere.
Did he say why?
I said why, and leading up to this, my therapist is like, this guy has no answers for anything. His answer to everything is I don't know. He never gives you a straight answer. So I asked him, what helped you arrive at that decision that you don't want to date me anymore? And he goes, oh, this is going to be so sad to say to someone you date, but since you asked, I'll tell you, I just want something else. And I go, that's not an answer. That's like so vague. Again,
That's nothing.
I'm like,
Yeah, he was trying to force himself to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And your dick is basically your dick tells the truth.
Yes.
Like your dick says, no, don't take out your emotional problems on me. Fucking be honest with what you want. That's all it is.
It's true, and so does your puss.
Yeah, it does, right? Sometimes that little fella dries up.
It's so true. We have to listen to our bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in relationships before where they've been like 3-month relationships, and I'll just wake up one morning and we'll be like totally in love.
And you'll be like,
I like dicks. That's not true. That's not.
Oh, okay.
That's not
And
true.
you don't even need that soundbite, quite frankly. There's no application for it. But I just wake up and I'm like, I don't feel anything for you anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's
Tough
just
way
like,
to run a marriage.
that's not, I wasn't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, not. But it's just like,
What do you ascribe that to? Or what do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I feel like I come out of a fog where it's like that sort of new honeymoon, like, oh, this is so much fun and you're so great and blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of come out of it and you realize like it was almost a mania and you don't have much in common. And this person is actually kind of annoying. And I there's nothing about you. I don't dislike you, but there's just nothing.
It's like what's left, and I keep using the word, what's left to get the dopamine going? Like when you're trying to court somebody or get something, there's always something to get the next high.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's always this thing. We'll do this for the first time. We'll do that for the first time. And then once you've done those things, and it's just, okay, now it's here, you realize, there's nothing. It was all about just getting that next drug drip.
Right.
And it's
and
fucking,
it always starts with the like, oh my God, I think this is actually going to happen. I can't believe this is happening. I never would have thought that me and you, this is so fun. Let's go do this. Let's go do that.
Yes.
And then one day it just dries up and you go, yeah, I don't want to do normal stuff with you. Like, I don't want to just live life and hang out with you.
They say if you can make it, it's interesting you said 3 months because I just read this book and she was saying, the first 3 months are the honeymoon phase and then the next 3 are the negotiation phase where it's like, all right, do we want to do this? How are we going to do our time? Like, how much time are we going to spend together? How much play time are we going to have together? Like all the sort of mundane shit.
Oh, when you're figuring out what life is going to look like.
Yeah, like reality. And she says like you have to have sexual chemistry. You have to have compatibility and you have to have great communication. And I think with this guy, we had incredible communication, a lot of compatibility, and no chemistry.
Very little chemistry.
The physical chemistry. I've had a woman's vagina not be wet. And
I can believe that.
Yeah, sure.
Believe it or not, that's not a stretch for me to get there.
And my technique of making it happen didn't always work, unfortunately.
What was the technique?
I was just kind of like, I would pat it like this and go like, and I would say, well, this joker needs a little moistening.
I like how
you would mic check it.
I like how the vagina in your examples is always male. This joker. Earlier you said this fella.
I did say this fella. You're right.
It's ironic
It's kind of cool. Like my clit is a fella.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're right. I did use male terminology, which is very
a tiny
telling.
Penis. It is a tiny penis.
Not on the girls I like.
I know. I've read your books.
So you're doing okay though.
Finally, I just thank God, man. I don't know. I think there's something about pheromones. They stay in your system for a while. The oxytocin in women is so much higher than in men once you have sex. And then it does peter out after a couple months. I think right around the 8-week mark, I was like, I'm fine.
So for those that don't know, Anya's a singer-songwriter.
Yes,
By the way, I respect this guy for going there and telling you in person. Yeah, I just don't want it. I want something else. I respect that.
Yeah, I like it too. And then
he wore his shoes to let you know this is for real.
Yeah, but there's still something really off. Like he's trying to be a person. Like it's still the whole thing is like he's creating.
You're really hitting
this
the nail on the
image
head.
of what a person is. Like he's not doing it because he cares or he feels a certain way. He's doing it because that's what a person should do.
Yes, you're
That's why when
hitting
you
the
try to
nail
go
on the
any
head.
further, there's nothing.
There was something robotic about him, and when I've spoken to a couple friends of mine who have an autistic daughter, they were like, he sounds like he's on the spectrum a little, because we had a few moments where we'd be on a date and then out of nowhere he'd do something so socially inappropriate.
Like what?
And he wouldn't know it. Well, first of all, God, remind me to tell you this other thing off the air. I want to tell you. He would sit, like I was sitting at dinner and I said, it's so fun to wear high heels with you, because I dated somebody for like 6 years that hated high heels. He thought it looked slutty. And so I never wore high heels, and he liked me dressing in like Converse and like with pigtails, like
Okay,
a little,
that's-
little on the little girl
Yeah.
spectrum. And this guy goes, he didn't like high heels, and I go, yeah. I mean, it's just his preference, I get it. People have a preference. And then my boyfriend said, yeah, I mean, I've hated a bunch of shit you've worn, but you're always really pretty. And I was like, okay, like what? And it was like so out of left field.
Yeah, that's not that cool.
And he didn't laugh. Like he didn't think it was funny. Like if he would have laughed, I might have laughed. But he was just like, yeah. And I go, like what? And he goes, I don't know. I couldn't think of a thing. And I go, well, you can't just say you hate some of my outfits, because I dress up for you. You realize I'm like spending a lot of time to look nice for you. So give me an example of a shirt or whatever that you don't like. I won't wear it again. And he goes, I couldn't think of one. And I'm like, I just don't believe you.
Just that he thought in that
What
story.
you had on that night, by the way, is what he hated.
You think so?
Oh.
He didn't want to say it. What you're wearing right now.
Yeah,
like,
maybe you're right.
I mean, just that he thought that the point of that story was not that it's weird that he hated high heels, but that he would say that he hated high heels, even though that he did. It's just so weird, backwards logic.
I did.
But
Oh,
that's
is that
where the
what he
brain
went?
would go.
I didn't even know. I thought he was just like, oh, weird. I like high heels, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And then he did another weird thing. We were kissing, and we had gone to dinner at this Mexican food place, and we came home, and we're kissing in the doorway. Again, he was slightly robotic, like you said, trying to act like a human. Like he seemed like he was trying to make out how they're supposed to make out.
Yeah.
Right.
Not, and I remember telling my friends, like, there's something not quite soulful about him. Like he doesn't kiss me in a soulful way. He like, meh, like really, our first kiss was ramming his tongue down my throat. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So he's kissing me, and then he goes, hey, like we're just like really making out, and he pulls back and he goes, hey, you should brush your teeth or something.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Fuck yeah.
This is like a fourth date.
You
so
should
like,
brush your teeth or something.
by the way, his breath was not a 10 out of 10 many times. I never would have said that. You just tolerate, not everybody has like minty fresh breath all the fucking time.
I think he might have been gay and on the spectrum.
So then I go in the bathroom, and I walk in the bath. I'm like, I'll be right back. I walk in the bathroom. I look at myself in the mirror, and I just go, what the fuck was that? I was so shocked. And then I brush my teeth, and I'm just like, I can't figure out if I'm ashamed of my breath or freaked out that I'm dating this strange person that just says shit.
Anya, I think you might have.
that's
I
a bit
think
on the
you. I
spectrum.
think you might have dated an old gay sociopath with Asperger's. It's very possible.
So
So
he's
you know this.
in
I'm
the middle
talking
of
to you next
kissing.
time I date
You
someone.
should.
in the middle of kissing. He just said, "You should brush your teeth or something."
I mean, that is
And
so.
didn't laugh, like didn't think it was odd. Also, he is the caricature of, like, if you look in the dictionary for the word quirky, there's a picture of him. Like, he is quirky. It's like I dated Woody Allen, basically.
But like Woody Allen is clearly on the autism spectrum,
Yes.
right?
I don't know. Is he Woody? I don't know. He might
Totally.
be, but
Maybe.
he never
I
struck
don't
me
know.
as that. He's just a genius and a weird comic genius. But he never struck me as autistic. Like he has social grace, and
He knows when he's in it being inappropriate.
In a way, yeah.
We also went to a play. We went to see this play, and the lead actress's husband was, I don't know, 10 seats away. And this guy that I was dating got like nice seats every time for everything. So we'd be in the second row around all these Broadway producers, and it's intermission, and he stands up and to everybody goes, she's terrible, right? She's horrible. He goes, she's so wooden.
I love this guy.
And I'm laughing. I'm dying. I'm like, oh my God, you can't say this. There's our husband is right there. And he has absolutely zero idea that he's being inappropriate.
That's a bit Asperger,
So
yeah.
I thought it was cute the whole time. I'm like, he's so funny. He's like really ballsy. He wasn't being ballsy. He was just like, no, she's bad.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
That's Asperger.
If Jess ever gets hit by a bus, I'm going to find a good woman on the autism spectrum just to have moments like that.
It was amazing. I had so many fun
Yeah.
stories. Oh, one more. Can I tell one
Yeah,
more?
please do.
This is such a good therapy session for me. Also, if he's listening again, please change the channel. I was at his apartment, a tiny 1-bedroom. I think he's a multimillionaire. He lives in a teeny tiny, sort of dusty and dark 1-bedroom apartment. And
He just keeps all his money?
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, my apartment's nicer, and I'm a
You're not a multimillionaire?
singer songwriter. So we'd be making out on the couch, and he'd go,
Jim, you dropped,
okay?
you dropped your beverage.
Jim's losing it.
Oh, I'm so sad that there was a top on that bottle. Jim, just yesterday, he dropped an entire
I
cup of
saw
cold
that.
brew on
Oh.
the ground. So it's one of our favorite things to watch old man Jim fumble with this thing.
But it was a great Photoshop somebody did of Chip in the fucking painting. God damn, that was good.
Amazing.
Well done. Oh, yes, what were you saying?
So we'd be making out on the couch, and he'd be like, "Hey, I'll be right back." And he'd walk to the bathroom, and it's dead quiet in his apartment, wooden floors. And he'd walk in the bathroom, close the door.
Oh my
God. You'd hear him shitting? Farting or shitting?
Just farts. And I was like, this cannot be. I'm like, I'm for sure being punked. For sure. I'm not even exaggerating.
Wouldn't he turn the water on? With the way to do it, and we've all had it as a man, is you turn the water on high and you fucking put your asshole over a towel. How many times have you had to fart into a towel?
Or you spread your hole open so the air can just kind of creep out.
Yeah, nothing's flapping.
Good
That's
one.
a good technique.
He would just stand there and fart and think you couldn't hear him.
And he was 8 feet away.
I love him.
And then he walked back in the room, and I look at him like, okay, he's gonna tell me it's a joke, right? And he just like, hey, and just get right back on the couch. And I was like, this is fucking insane. Like, for sure, I'm being punked.
Anya, I think you need to find this guy and see if maybe you can make it work out after all.
He's the
because
best.
I think he should be in your life.
We love this guy.
Yeah, if anything, he
He's
should be
not
in our
perfect,
life.
but he's a hero to us.
He is. He is just a limp dick weirdo.
At one point, I thought I'm imagining things because I went into the bathroom, and then I hit a floorboard as I walked in, and the floorboard went, "Ah!" And I go, oh, that kind of sounds like his fart. I think he's just been stepping on floorboards a lot.
Right.
And then he came to my house for dinner that night, and I'll be right back.
Did he
Went
go
to
to the fart
bathroom
room
and
again? He saves all his farts and he goes into the bathroom.
It's so weird. I kept thinking he's holding in all these farts because he wasn't shitting. I went to the bathroom right after him, and there was no shit smell.
And the toilet paper was still intact.
Yeah.
So he's just
going.
saves
Probably
up his
sitting on the
farts.
toilet trying to fart.
No, he was
And-
standing, I think.
Oh,
He's got to relieve the pressure.
Travis, do you like that?
Saving all your farts for the bathroom.
Just the visual in my head of this old man just standing in a bathroom farting.
You remember in
being completely obvious.
Remember in the
wasn't it?
movie Big Daddy?
Yeah.
When Sandy's ex starts dating the old man?
Yeah.
Imagine that old man going into the bathroom and just farting.
And just,
I can't believe I devoted so many months or so much energy to this and didn't see any red flags.
This is like
you did. You just ignored them.
I wish you would redo the speech that Liv Tyler did in That Thing You Do when she tells Jimmy how many kisses she wasted on him, but somehow bring up the fart room.
Hey, what are you promoting?
I have a new EP. It's called Over You, and there's a brand new song coming out on Friday called GFY, which stands for
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a fart, yo.
And I have a 6-part web series that's been nominated for a bunch of awards.
Oh my gosh.
It takes place in New York, and it's about me getting dropped from my label. I play a narcissistic, possibly Aspergery, just a narcissistic version of myself. And I really did get dropped by my label. And it's called Anya Marina Independent Woman.
You should check out the web series. It's very
Yes.
funny.
And I'm playing at Rockwood Saturday night here in New York.
Oh my gosh.
Where can people go to get you? We're out of show. We wound up talking to you the whole time.
AnyaMarina.com. And you can help your favorite artists make more money if you listen to stuff on Spotify or whatever. If you click save, and follow and add to playlists. They don't want you to know this. Spotify doesn't because they have to pay us more than 12 cents.
Mhm.
But that really helps us. It
Oh,
helps us
really?
make more money. Yes.
I didn't know
Well, then
that
do
either.
that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And please, we'll have to have you back.
I love you guys. This was actually
fun.
really
This was
therapeutic
amazing.
for me. So thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know this was going to go there, but
I
I'm
didn't
glad that
either.
it did.
Me too.
Please check out Anya's music, though, if you haven't.
She's great.
In the past, she's really, really great, and I've heard the new EP.
Thank you.
And it's awesome. It's awesome. It's good stuff. Jim, you want to plug?
Just go to Columbus, Maryland, coming up, and new Chip podcast is up, and people really like it. It's the live one from Montreal.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye.
We'll be back with more Jim